All right, what is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name's St. Kramer with Brandman Brandon. We got Bigger Forward Entertainment. Anzo's in the house. What's up, man?
What's up?
Then Brian's here. He's finishing up the slide so we can fully talk about the episode.
I was early, guys. I was early.
I mean, you're always the first one here, so yeah.
Did you guys share it everywhere?
I'm in the middle of doing the threads and doing stuff like that.
Cool. All right,
yeah.
we'll be right back.
All right, yeah, there you go. So he is here, but yeah. So until he gets ready, then we go do our normal breakdown, see who's in chat, see how everyone's doing. Who's the first one? Sully in the house. What's up? He said, I'm in Copenhagen on vacation, so the time change is brutal. Yeah. But just wanted to say I know innies are people too and don't ask to be created, but man, that ending thing. Yeah, that was I watched it again. It was I think on a second viewing I enjoyed it even more. So yeah, that ending was good. We got Dr. Deb in the house. If you see this, have an amazing time in Copenhagen. Sounds awesome. Yep. Nikisha's here. Good evening, everyone. So sad that this is our last Severance live stream. Yeah, at least for a while. So yeah, we'll figure out. We'll be back.
Another
we'll be
3
back
years.
No, the creator, whatever was it Dan Erickson or whatever his name is, said it's not going to be 3 years. I think he didn't say how long, but he said it's not going to be another 3 years.
What is it going to be? 5?
at that point, yeah, no, yeah, and it'll still be great though. But yeah, we'll be back next Saturday. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll find not a new show, but we'll find a new show to talk about. That's probably an older one. And then I'll show that we can like talk about and then stop if we need to talk about a new show that's occurring, at that time, and then jump back in. So we'll see. Let's see. And Nikisha, I'm sad too. Back in the day, we could look forward to the new season starting in the fall, but now we have a year or more. Yeah, yeah, which really sucks. Also, I just saw this come in right now.
The man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT.
Fantastic season finale. Give them all the Emmys. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I so agree. I didn't get a chance to do any new clips from this last episode, but there will be some. Trust me, there will be a lot, because that last ending was very clip worthy. But we'll give you this one for now.
Every time he's on, you gotta give him the. This is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes.
He's the GOAT, so you gotta get a screaming GOAT.
No. I seen a comment there. I'm sorry. It said, "Rest in peace, George Foreman."
Oh, yeah, George Foreman died. Yeah.
Yes. Yesterday. I think.
Yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Rest in peace.
I was like, loved him as a commentator. I loved him as his second career. We came back to boxing is one of the most unbelievable things where you can do at the age of 45, 40, 44, 45, 46. Made you feel like, man, I could go do something.
And maybe I should go put Foreman grill was fire.
It changed, man.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
It changed the kitchen, man. I used that thing so much before.
Me too.
I don't think I know anyone who didn't have a George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
Just what it was.
Yeah.
They were. I think it was great.
For real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did suck. But but Deuce, always appreciate you, man, and yeah, just always with the super chats and everything. You are legit to go, man. Thank you so much. Make sure you heart that super chat. But yeah, give them all the Emmys. Like, this was great. see where we.
No,
at.
I mean, Apple hasn't been getting any Emmy nominations. I really think that this deserves one of the highest things you could ever give. It is so good, quality writing, quality show. All the Easter eggs as you go along and start seeing, realizing what was there. You know, when I said to you guys, I was like, it said Cold Harbor on the damn box.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I was like, mother, how did I not see this shit? And then the fact that they were able to sneak that in and no one talk about it is genius. I think that we got some other Easter eggs. And just from the conversation with Cobell and Mark, I have a few in Devin now. I think I understand Devin a little bit more. I have a theory about them, and maybe I'm right. I don't know. I'd love to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that because, she was big into the at least the beginning of this episode. But yeah. But I don't know how Oscars work, where the companies and the studios need to push their movies to be considered. I don't know if Emmys are the same way or not. I assume so, but I'm not sure if that's how it works or not.
It's usually pay to play on all these things.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. I mean, Apple's got a lot. I mean, they're dropping $1 billion just by having this damn Apple Plus, so might as well promote it and get some awards. You know,
we all say that, right? But does everyone agree? Like of the top 10 shows that are out that have come out this year, like 7 of them has been on Apple for the last couple of years, and no one knows about them unless you really like go out there and talk about it. It's sad almost.
I never seen a trailer for Ted Lasso. Never seen a trailer for Ted Lasso.
Me neither.
Everybody talks about how great it is, and it is great. You know, so yeah.
I don't think I really heard about Ted Lasso until it started streaming on there, and then everyone was talking about it straight away.
You know,
but
same thing with Silo. You know, I didn't hear anything about it until the end of the first season. You know, Severance. I personally didn't hear anything about it until middle of the first season. You know,
you guys don't even know, so we wouldn't even be talking about Severance if it wasn't for Tank right here. He was like, dude, this is the best show of all time. I'm like, man, what the hell is this crap? Well, you know, and now I'm like, my whole Friday, Saturday is full of watching it 13 times and then pulling out these little screenshots because I love it so much. And I really just want to share how much I love watching this show. So, you know, I got to throw it out to you, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but also a lot of these shows on Apple, the promotion is the fans, especially on TikTok. Like Severance TikTok is wild, man. It's so like there's just so many theories. There's so many people talking about it. Same thing with Silo. Silo had a big TikTok conversation. Ted Lasso is just big in social media. Everyone's talking about it. You had the Kelsey brothers had what's his name on talking about Ted Lasso. You know, so yeah, you know, it's Apple's made for social media. Is something good when it airs, or is it good because everyone talks about it and it more forces everyone else to talk about it? You know what I mean? It's that anticipation rather than reaction. You know, like old school TV was a lot of anticipation. You know, Apple is a lot of reactions. Like it relies on reactions. So I don't know.
How far are we out into these?
Yeah, I'm just kind of going through saying hi to everybody. Dr. Deb's in the house. Thank you guys for Spoiler King, Lakeisha Jeeves, the chat, creating such an incredible space. Appreciate all you guys, everybody coming in, hanging out with us, talking about this show.
Yeah, thanks.
I put it in the description. Like, you know, honestly, the best part about this whole thing is talking about this with you. So that's why I want to make sure we're ready for all the stuff. But you guys have the best theories ever. So like the conversation is so great, and it's a real conversation. I enjoy that part.
Yeah. Everything builds on top of each other. Like everyone's like says one thing and then it builds on that, and it just becomes like this big conversation about like one topic, and it's like a group effort sometimes. Let me go run through. Erica's in the house. What's up, Erica?
Hey, Erica. I wonder who that is.
Yeah. Fernando, what's going on? Appreciate you being here.
What's up, man? I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, Collectors in the house. Say Spoiler King, just want to jump in and say hi. Always appreciate you, Collector. So
100%, man.
Delta Dan's in the house. Thank you, Delta Dan. I know Delta Dan came in when we were talking, I think, Silo, now he's like well, a normal Saturday, person to come in. I mean, talking about all these shows with us.
Dan jumps in on Mondays. Sometimes I see him jump on on a Tuesday. So like I just see it any day. So I appreciate all of you guys, honestly.
Yeah. Collector asked if we're gonna do live streams for The Last of Us. Because it drops on a Sunday, it's hard.
The timing.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna do. It's on. Last of Us comes on AMC Plus, right?
No,
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
It's HBO Max. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I get it on AMC Plus because we don't have HBO Max here. Yeah. But I might, because I remember last year I got it a day early. So if I get it a day early, I'm gonna do it.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, man! If you get it a day early. Yeah. If we get it on Saturdays, I think we can do that. But if it's on
100%,
if we get it like Sunday, like how we got it like last year, when at least in the United States, it would come at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Dude, so, if you get it on Saturday, I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm getting me a Canadian flag. Every time we come on Saturday, I'm gonna wave that first.
Well, that's what was good about From, right? Because I used to get From a day early before everybody else, so I was able to do the streams for it. So yeah, if sometimes that happens where I get it early, and if it does, then I'm gonna do it.
Heck yeah!
Tell Trump, try to deport me. Go ahead, try.
You're American. We don't want you here, brother. You guys are trying to make us the 51 state and all of that. We don't want none of that.
Hey, you trying to say I'm a sleeper cell?
Maybe. Yeah, 100%.
Maybe
100%.
I'd be the sleeper cell. I'm here, guys. Gotcha.
Brian will be the first one to move to Canada.
I've talked about that before I even started doing any of this stuff. I will move to Canada tomorrow. I talk so much crap, but I will be there. Oh man, it's funny.
Man. I mean, I don't blame you. I'll be right behind you. Catalyst in the house. What's up, Catalyst?
What up, Catalyst?
I'm just kind of going through everybody. Yeah, writing is fantastic. No dialogue is wasted. Best show on TV. I agree. It's probably one of the best shows on TV.
I definitely agree now. I'm at a point where it's no more. I'm not even. I love right now. I probably love From more because of the time I've given to it and the details I've done with it. But at this point in time, I think this might be better written. But it's easy to say because you took 3 years to write. So it's almost not fair.
I mean, how long? I know I haven't watched From, but I know there was a big space in between season 2 and season 3, right? I don't know if it was 3 years.
Yeah,
but...
there was. I don't know how long it was either, but there was. Yeah. I think that had to do with the writer's strike because it was the same.
The writer's strike.
Yeah, probably.
Severance still my number one, to be honest with you. Still.
Yeah. It says Last of Us season 2 starts Sunday at April 13th at 9 p.m. Yeah. So, but if Canada gets it first, then we'll find a way to do it for sure.
100%.
For sure. Because that's gonna be a show. But I mean, also as much as we love Severance and how great it is, there's so many good shows out right now. So many good shows that are ending, that are about to start. How much
can I watch?
TV wise, we are good. We are good.
Let's hit these comments because I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. Everyone else is kind of like talking about it. And also, Nikki said, and everyone is so respectful and nice to one another. That's a rare in these YouTube streets. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Now we appreciate you and everybody.
No, that's exactly. I don't take it. I don't know. No, I'm. You know what? By nature, I'm a protector. I think that's just what it is. No matter, just having the girls, that just makes me by nature a protector. You know, I just don't like you seeing anything. If I'm in the chat, someone attacks Anzo, I'm probably coming after them. I'm probably not even like on like comments. I'm probably like, "We're gonna find where you live. We're gonna knock on your door. We're gonna have a conversation."
I've done that many times. You know what I mean? Like no negatives. So.
I mean, Anzo will do it as long as he ain't got.
I mean, that's the kind of what we want to keep here too. What was that?
Anzo will do it too if he don't have to get on the plane. He don't do train. He don't do plane.
If you overseas, you're good. You know what I mean? But if I could take a train or bus or car there, yeah, I'm coming for you.
I mean, it'd be a long ass boat ride if you want to get to Europe.
Yeah, I seen a couple videos with some boats, and I'm not sure about the boats.
Yeah, it's probably worse than the plane.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Solo leveling. I gotta get on season 2. Season 1 was great. Are you guys gonna do Andor for season 2? We are gonna talk about it. I'm not too excited. The trailer did look good though. Season 1 left me not excited.
I'll talk about it, guys. I will talk about it, but guess what? I'm not doing slides. F Andor right now. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not.
That's gonna be a normal during the week kind of thing. Yeah, I'll probably be like a Thursday night.
I'm curious about it, even though I'm not like dashing to watch it. Even though I did rewatch the entirety of season 1 and kind of appreciated it a little more, but we'll see how Andor goes.
He loves it. Don't let him tell you he loves it.
I will give it like 2 episodes, and if that's it.
That's it. I don't blame you.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in here real quick, guys. We're gonna start with this one. The reason I'm starting with this one is because of this crib right here, right? So I was like, man, are you serious? And then I looked at it, and this says COLDHABOR. It says Cold Darber. Like, yeah. So I was like, it's Cold Harbor. What the hell? Right in front of us the entire time. We didn't see it. Wow, that's amazing. And I just thought that this would be a perfect time to just look at this. Before we'll see it in the rest of the screenshots, but this is amazing. Everything they did and everyone that's in the series is pretty much in here.
Yeah,
even like the Egan's up here, but you see how there's a Helena here and there's a Helly down here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And Helena's
it's pretty much anybody in Mark's life.
Everyone in Mark's life, even the random people that are there. The only one I don't see is the baby, but no, the baby has been in Devin's hands, Devin's arms.
Oh yeah.
And Helly's in the middle, right? So she's very important. And I have a theory about her too as well.
Well, the fact that she's on each side, we can talk about Helly. I mean, Helly's gonna be really interesting as we get into these screenshots because of course we got Miss Cobell talking to him, telling him these numbers are basically your wife.
Yeah,
everything. That's why she asked about Cold Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have a theory. I'm just going to put this out there early, and if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, let me know too. I think Devin knows that Mark is not her biological brother.
You think what I'm thinking, yeah.
I think
that's Cabell's son.
Yep. So Devin is older than Mark. They never talk about it, but I think Devin's older than Mark. And Mark was adopted when he was a baby. And Miss Cobell is his actual mother. So when she was screaming, "I care for you," she wasn't lying.
Yeah, it was her son. Yeah,
that's why she keep an eye on him this entire time.
That's interesting.
That's why she has this certain drawing towards him. What makes him special? Because that's her son.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk about, remember, like, so Egan, but James Egan talks about, I sired a lot of babies, a lot of children, and none of them had Kier in them. Would that be nuts to find that Mark is Kier's? I mean, Kier is James, not James, child too. So if it's Jane and Miss Cobell's child, she was a teenager, she had to give it up. He was a baby. Devin remembers bringing his baby home, but that's the only family he actually knows.
Yep. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want to bring Kier back to life.
But you need someone of his own blood.
Exactly. And I think the baby that Helly is going to have is going to be the vessel, right? Because when they sacrifice the goats, that goat is definitely there. You can see it in a lot of horror movies. The goat was there to bring the spirit, to another realm or something like that. Don't quote me on the exact words, but absolutely. So yeah, I definitely believe that is the case. I also think that the reason why they were doing all of that stuff to Gemma is because they needed to see if they could get a clean slate, right? They needed a vessel that has
exactly the point.
Memories. They needed a clean slate, right?
with no pain.
Do that
right?
It's also, I mean, we kind of get into a big thing, but I think it's also the fact that they're doing it to be able to tell the rest of the world, hey, we have a way to get rid of all your pain. But while they're doing it, they're also creating a clean slate for the rest of the board. I think it's not just Kier. I think it's the entire board that they're trying to get bodies for. They'll have a wipe slate, and then they'll be able to put the baby, put the body, the personality into the body. And then and I believe that that James' babies, like the rest of his kids, are still on the property.
Because there was one scene where the lady talked about them having a baby in the office. Someone had a baby in the office. I think it was in season 1. So yeah, 100%.
So I think those babies,
and they're trying to bring back the whole family.
Then why did Miss Cobell also know about the birthing cabins and all about Jane so intimately? Because she went through it.
Which means that the woman that had the baby in the birthing and could have been a Keegan, Kier,
or she could have just been someone who had a lot of money, so they could play it to the rich people as one thing, and then something totally different to everyone on the inside. So they have the ulterior motives, just like every other company does.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It was like it's a company, and it's like trying to save the world, with their bullshit. But meanwhile, it's just capitalism on rapid. It's like we're gonna sell you this drug that can fix you. Meanwhile, they're doing their evil shit in the background.
Absolutely. Also, when you watch the intro, there's a baby there. There's a few babies.
Yeah, 2 babies
that have old man hands. So that shows me that they're going to try and use the babies to bring back the family. And I agree with you. It's not just one; it's the whole family they're trying to bring back.
But that's even in back when we go back into the painting. I think it's a baby for each one of them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you this. I think, okay, so when the father went to go see Heliar, he said, I see Keegan, Kier, and you, right? He didn't see it in his daughter. They're going to use that. I believe that that's probably the consciousness they need to get out of Heliar to put in the baby.
I actually think that they're going to, he's going to switch Heliar and Helena. And that's what, so they're running away. So like, where are they running to, right? Yeah. Well, I think that James is going to say, I like her more. Let's switch them. And then we'll let you have Mark as your side thing. Like, we'll actually use him as leverage to make sure you do what I tell you to do.
That's exactly what I said. That's why she did that. I think it was actually really Heliar at the end of that, when she was told something when he came there and talked to her, which probably changed her mind to be like, oh, I can live and I can live with Mark. And that's why she did what she did.
So I know that was a lot of stuff to bring up. I just wanted to talk about that first. Dude says possible, so that would make so much sense, Brian. Intriguing. I think so. She cares a lot for him, but let him be used as a guinea pig. Yuck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is young. She's feasible. It makes sense the way the type of person she is, because it's also her baby, but it's also her idea. Her idea is her baby too.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't allow you to use Mark, but keeping tabs on him makes a lot of sense.
And she could also have been forced to, right? We don't know if Lumen has anything.
I will kill him.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's gross. That means Helly and Mark are related. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly what it means. And that's exactly why he should have chose Gemma.
Oh.
But they're related. Exactly. And they had sex twice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they used to do in the old time. Think about old England, like they wanted to keep it all with you seen Game of Thrones, like you see all these things, that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pure
not even
blood.
that far along. Isn't Prince Charles and the Queen, or the Queen that just passed away, weren't they cousins?
Second cousins, yeah. They're
Second cousins.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
like,
I'm just telling you, this makes so much sense, guys. I was thinking the
Keeping
same
the
thing,
blood
Brian.
pure, you know?
The baby
Mhm.
Kier in the
Keep the
intro is
blood
probably
pure.
Mark and Helena's baby, not Helly's. So I remember Petey's map said some people live here. Exactly, it did. Petey's map said, I'm telling you who those are. Those are
Right.
Kier's sires. It's his babies
Mm-hmm.
that have lived there all their entire life. You think they won't do that? Well, Helena lived there the entire life, her entire life. So yeah, I need to see his map again. Exactly
Yeah,
right,
shit,
Nikisha.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought the map was referring to those on the testing floor, but the idea makes even more sense. I'm telling you, that's the babies. Yeah. Could be both. Could, yes, Nikisha. This is all in the family. Exactly. But this is what they do. When you're in the high society, and these things, when you're trying to make oligarchy, it's keeping that same bloodlines within it. So yeah, I'm telling you, I think that's what they're going to talk about. I think we're going to find out. I think that's going to be the end of the season 3. They find out that he did all this, Mark and Helly did all this, and they're related. So the only thing, if Harmony suspected Mark was hers, she wouldn't allow him to die again. Yeah, but she wouldn't allow him to die anyway. I think that was part of her plan, that she wasn't going to allow.
Yeah.
I don't think she was going to allow him to die. And that's the thing. No matter what, if he completed Cold Harbor, she wasn't going to allow him to go back.
I mean, same thing with the dentist. Like the dentist, it made it seem like after Cold Harbor, he was going to find a way to keep her for himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wanted.
Thing, you know?
Yeah,
He's
100%. That's why I say when they say they were going to kill her, I'm not 100% sure they were going to actually kill her. Yeah, physically kill her. Right?
It might have been just they wiped her.
Yeah. And keep her locked
keep off one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So got to keep them bloodlines pure like the Targaryens.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Nothing bad comes from that, right?
We saw her with her uncle. You know,
her and
everybody
brother.
else. Everybody else.
Oh well, from the later line.
First time wasn't her choice. The second time she would protect him. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right, so get back to the show. We talked about them. He understands what's going on. We jump right to Heliar, who's seeing James there. She grabs the pin real quick to make sure the marker says, I thought she was going to stab him in the neck. And he starts saying, my Heliar, I was vexed with you at the show, but you know, the more I thought about it, the more I saw Kier in you. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? And then it's funny because that's exactly what Heliar says. What the fuck's wrong with you? And he comes closer and closer, and it's funny because then it's almost like he has feelings for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to know this from you guys. Do you think it's because really what the innies really are is I wrote this down. Basically all the innies are each of the person without any of the trauma. So like if the person, so we saw Mark when he first met Gemma, right? He was more like Mark's innie than Audi, right? But the trauma and weighed on him, and that's why he's different. We think about Dylan. The person that Gretchen fell in love with is more like Dylan now, who is the innie. But the trauma of life weighed on him and changed who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, what James just said, he was like, hey, Helly, I don't love my daughter, Helena, right? But I miss the way she used to be, which is like Helliar, without the trauma. It's funny because he misses the person that she used to be before he beat it out of her. He beat her down so much that she's no longer that.
Mm-hmm.
But all these innies are who you would be without the trauma, which is crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a pretty apt description. I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
Keisha says, my daughter and I had a great idea for season 3 intro credits. They should be with Gemma's perspective instead of Mark's. I'll explain here, but at least the last 10 minutes of a review today, I think exactly the same thing. I think that's exactly what season 3 is going to be.
Yeah,
the same.
Mark. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So he saved her, so now she has to go save him. Exactly.
Yeah, because now the roles are reversed.
Exactly. And then that's why it could go a fourth.
But it just becomes way more complicated for her. Yeah. Yeah.
And she can't just reintegrate. There's 25 of her.
Ooh.
She can't just do that. I came to wonder if Gemma would die because the plan would extract the chip to study and replicate it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Too. Yeah, that's a good point.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that would be. They would have to, right?
Well, and they wanted to because they wanted to bury Gemma with the lamb or the goat.
Yeah. Yeah, because the lamb's going to take her to Kier.
Yeah.
But
so,
that could
they would
be,
rip out the chip and then study her brain, possibly too.
But or it could have erased all of it, and it was more philosophical that the lamb was going to lead her, whatever,
like symbolic kind of.
Yeah. I thought she was going to stab him too. It's sure like she was thinking about it. You think the old dude respects Helly more than Helena? I think he just doesn't not just respects her. I think he loves her.
Yeah, but that's because he sees Kier in her, right? That's the love thing. Because even with Cobell, right? They said, like the aunt said, "Oh, I used to see Kier in you, and now I don't." So it's all about that. It's all about seeing Kier in the person, and that's what he's more into than anything else. So I think he's just using them. That's why he loves her, because he sees Kier in her.
But I think he also loves her because that's who his daughter used to be.
Yeah, because it's you want your child to be their own person, but he's such a horrible father and horrible person. He molded her, and then that's the worst thing is like after you molded somebody, we saw it in another show, Paradise. Like after you molded your child, you're like, I don't like what you turned into. It was like I turned into what you wanted me to turn into.
You did it, mother.
That's why he loves Helly. Like you did it, So that's why he loves Helly. Or like the love thing is interesting. I want to hear more about that, but that's why he respects and I think he wants Helly to be the main personality now, which I think that's gonna be a whole thing in season 3.
Yeah, I agree. So that's cool, Nikisha. Can't wait to watch. Yeah, definitely. The last 10 minutes, I want to see it. Definitely, Dan. Thank you, Dr. Deb. Okay, glad it wasn't just me too. Nikisha sounds interesting. Yeah. The irony with James is that it was he who deemed her Kier, who demeaned the Kier out of her. Exactly. He beat her down so much that, of course, it's gone. And then you want to be upset that it's gone? Yeah. Like Jesus had a lot of fun recording it earlier. You guys are really interesting together. But I love father son, mother daughter type of dynamic. So yeah, so I'm gonna watch it later. I don't know why I don't get notifications. I'll have ask my children to help me, which will get me one of them from them. Yeah, get it for them. I don't know why. I don't get the bell notification either. It'll be interesting. Yeah. Season 3, James chooses Helly over his as his successor. I think 100% he will.
Oh, yeah,
100%, and that's why we're gonna have the override button. That was the whole point of having the override button. And they're actually don't have to sneak in and override the override, and it's going to be Mark and Helena's going to have to help get him out.
Mm-hmm. Even for Helena, it's like that's going to be a dilemma for her because, like, if you have a choice to who you want to be, like we found out like early this season, like Helena was jealous of Helly, you know, like
you saw the
she was the person she wanted to be. The father was the person she wanted to be. It's like everyone wants to be Helly. Why, like does Helena just give up herself to allow Helly to be her fully?
I think that's what pushes them to reintegrate. But without Jane, if he actually gets killed one way, then they'll be able to do that. But because they're brother sister, technically, they can't be together. So I appreciate you, Cheese. YouTube's notifications are strange. Sometimes I don't even get my Spoiler King notification either. That's literally why I have to go. I usually go into Facebook and then notify the Spoiler Kings on the Spoiler Kings part of it, and then I have to send it to all the messenger and stuff like that, and then that's why I just send it on to Twitter too, because sometimes the notifications don't work. So I wonder where Mark and Helena think they're running to at the end. I think that Helena, they don't even care. They just want to have time together. He said, I just want to share. I just want to spend more time with you. I wish we had more time. That's all I care about. So I think they just really wanted to spend more time together. That's all.
Yeah. However long.
Whatever it is. So you see her ready to go. It felt like, I don't know when you guys were watching it, it felt like she was being held back by something.
Yeah, there was that, that's something that really caught my attention, just the restraint, that especially kind of stood out. For a minute, I thought she was going to stab him, and then she kind of like stops, like like
could this be a point of you see a traumatic thing ruining the walls, like the division of like Helena not allowing Helly to kill her father, or just the memory, just like it's a dream, but I won't allow you to kill because of that connection you still have. It's another emotional thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot better than mine, because I thought, like, if you ever seen Demolition Man, I know it's a weird thing, but when they get unfrozen, they make it a way where you can't hurt like the person in charge. So I wonder if that's something that happens, like, oh, your innies can't hurt anybody on the board, they can't hurt me. It's like they put it in there.
It sure did hurt Mr.
But I like yours better. Yours is way better.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I think I prefer yours.
Yeah, because remember, what happens to Mr. Drummond? Who kills Mr. Drummond?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Not the innie. It's the outie. Who pulls the trigger?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But I think a goat lady would have pulled it anyway. What up, Ty? How you feeling, man?
What's going on, Ty?
Also, is she severed? We already talked about is she severed? What's up, Ty?
That's a question.
Shout out to Ty. I know in the group he shouted out Spoiler Kings. He's like, hey, if you're in the Severance, you should check out Spoiler Kings. And then like a few like Lumen are like, I'm good. I was like, but appreciate it, Ty. Let people know.
If you what was the question you just asked? If they're severed. So yeah, I think everybody down there is severed, because when she was talking to the band, right, she was like, oh, they're trying to get rid of us. So obviously the band was severed. So I think everybody down there is severed.
I think so too, because that's what they said about when they met all the people that down there. They said, hey, we're all the same. Eventually they're going to come after you, because I think they're all separate too. And the fact that that's why they listened.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I lost my place. So I said, what kind of tea you having, Nikisha? It's all right, Keisha. I don't think they're more than 10 seconds ahead. Yeah. It helps if you guys have to set a schedule too. Yeah. I know when to look for you. Yeah. That's what I usually do. Try to put it like, okay, if I have to do it by this time, I have to get it done. So no tea tonight. I'm having a glass of Cabernet. Though figure I'll save the hard stuff for my streams. Okay, I got you. So I don't think that's Helly or it's the two merging. I thought that too, right?
I like that theory,
but
I like that way better.
I will say, so at the end we know that it's now Helly. I realized that it's not Helena, it's Helly because they said
That's Helly.
Yeah. So that the actors talked about it, said no, that is Helly run away with Mark. But yeah, I do believe that as a subconscious, I think emotional trauma some way can seep through, and we've seen it multiple times now. Where all of a sudden you're about to do something and it kind of seeps through. It's a goat lady. Yeah, sorry. Is that because of the look she gave Jim at the end? Ooh, yeah. I like it. So, geez, that theory has a lot of merit. Yeah. So I once again I thought that, but they kind of debunked it. The actors and all their interviews that they're having. When I was looking at they're talking about it. Who was there? Was there? It was Britt Lauer. It was Britt Lauer said it. That said, no, it's Helly. That's running with Mark at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
See her.
There's since Thursday night. There's been a few like there's the on stage the panel of the actors talking. I saw clips of it. I haven't seen the full thing. I don't know if it's posted or not. But okay, yeah, send me the link. I gotta find where the whole thing's at. But there's a lot of people already, like people in charge of the show that are talking, so it kind of helps dwindle down some of the theories to something a little bit more I don't know, reasonable. Because there's some crazy theories out there. I see one with aliens.
There's always aliens or a time travel thing. There's always one of those.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did you see? I think that that we'll find out that Mark is daydreaming in the running away sequence. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because everyone said this has actually happened, but I also do know none of the actors know exactly what's happening.
Yeah. But I think the reason why it faded to red was because they done messed up. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be like hell for them going forward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the freeze frame was really good. I wanted to get into that too, and we could get back into that Twilight Zone episode with the mannequins coming alive when we get into the Kier robot. I think that would be really interesting. We could talk about that. I do think it was Helly, but it does a little to seem to be out of character, and that look she gave at the end was interesting. So I finally saw the video interview with Detchen. I've been waiting for her to do a video interview all season. Yeah, you know what? It was weird though, because seeing her in the blonde just didn't kind of threw me off a little bit. So Goat Lady will always be
Bram Tarth.
Yeah, Bram Tarth. Yeah, man. Oh no, hope not. Jeez, yeah. They're debunking this so we don't figure out.
You don't get a woman that's like 6'6", her size, and not have her beat somebody up.
Yeah, that's what she said. She didn't want to do it. She was like, I almost didn't do the show because I didn't want to be having that type of scene again, being seen as that type of person all the time.
That's her. That's pretty much her curse to bear. just being that like
giant, strong woman.
It's inevitable. You have to lean into it at that point.
But she doesn't want to be typecasted into that. So I understand.
She better get ready.
So yes, Duchesne, it's fantastic, Nikisha. I loved her since Dollhouse. The running looked like the way movies in the 70s ended. That's because they went back to film. So they went from digital to film at the end.
Yeah.
And they
that
filmed
was awesome.
The cinematographer talked about that. She said, "Yeah, I decided to go back to film because it wanted to be more like how Mark and Gemma was in their whole sequence. This is the beginning of Mark and Helly's sequence, and they wanted to be in film, wanted to look different. So I thought that was pretty cool." So I kicked Lumen out of the chat today. He got on my nerves. So I still have to watch Dollhouse. I know her from the 100. Yeah, I totally did. Jeeves said it's a gift and a curse. Exactly. You being that big is a gift and a curse. You have to decide what you're going to be doing.
Pretty much, right?
So during the fighting scenes, I kept yelling, "Get the table, Mark! Get the tables!" Oh, Dollhouse is good, Nikisha. Not dissimilar for Severance, really. So impressive that the actors did all their own stunts and fighting scenes themselves. Yes, and they talked about it. Seth talked about not Seth. Tillman talked about that they all did their own scenes, own fight scenes. No stunt people had to come in. Says cool, but that's why I think we'll find out what he was imagining. That would be interesting if he did. That would be really interesting. All right, so we're back in the cabin. He has the camera. He says, "Okay, we have one more person that needs to talk to you. It's yourself." And he talks to Mark. He says, he apologizes. He says, I just want to apologize to you for your severance or severing us. I feel like I forced you to live a nightmare. And I think that was the first getting off on the wrong foot there. It says bad choice of words. Nightmare is the wrong word because we find a way to have a full whole life. As he's doing it, but he's watching and it's surreal for them to really have these conversations together and not knowing exactly how to respond, but they do respond anyway. I stopped this one because why are they both pregnant? Can someone tell me why the guy and the lady are both pregnant, holding their stomach? Because someone tell me.
No clue.
I don't
I've seen
understand
that too, but I don't know. I don't know what it signifies. Maybe his rebirth.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, maybe his rebirth.
I thought it was almost like shortchanging a woman going through pregnancy. Like we both have to go through this change when she's really going through the change. But like he's holding his stomach too. I'm like, why is he doing the same thing? But man, maybe that's me. Yeah. So Mark's looking like this. He realizes he walks outside. He turns back into the Audi. Mark. He's able to record and he watches what he's seeing. And here, this is what I think shows need to really know. When you want to do a dark scene, instead of doing all black, like House of the Dragon, when you can't see what the hell's going on, or even in Silo, do it blue.
Or Silo.
Yeah, exactly. Do it blue instead of doing it black, so we can see what the hell is going on.
Well, they used that old school technique. That's why they were able to get the night to look like that, But yeah, it's so much better when they do it like that because there's a lot of shows and TVs and movies where it's like I can't even see what's going on. It's so black. So yeah, that's a perfect way to do it.
I mean, it's smarter that way, right? I mean, you want to share with us of your images and everything, but without it, we have no idea. So we're trying to see like what the hell's going on here. Instead of that, they actually give us a blue tint to let us know what's actually happening, so we can see it clearly.
But it's also a trick for CGI to hide bad CGI. They do that in a lot of those movies too, But
that is true.
Just make this stuff better so that you can see what's going on. Like it makes the scenes like pop more. You know what I mean?
So Dr. Depp says, so impressive that the actors did all their own stunts, fight scenes themselves. Yes, very much so. So cool, but why I think that we are out of why he was imagining that. That's why I think that. Why are we talking about the end of the show right now? just can't help it because the show was so good. We were all like enthralled in it, and we all want to get to those points. This exchange was so good. Acting is mind blowing. So they went from scene. So I don't know if you guys saw. So they went from camera to camera multiple times, right? And after the third time, they realized it was going to become a problem, right? People don't get bored with this interaction. So what they end up doing is doing more of a conversation, and they kind of merged it. I knew this was coming. So they merged it so like you can have a back and forth with the Innie and the Audi both will be on the same screen at the same time. I thought that was really, really good to have that conversation because it's no longer going back and forth all the time. So the Innie and Audi conversation was so intense, started sweet, and they grew more and more contentious. Yeah. He said, I thought he was just thick. So yes, Nikisha, and I love the callback of using the wrong name for their partner as a turning point. I agree. So actually, I had that written down. I wrote a few things. So the Audi said, once my wife is free, I will finish the process of severance. Reintegration. I'm sorry, of reintegration. So he introduced that into the conversation. And he says, I want to share this life with you. All right. And then Any Mark says, well, you've been online like 20 times longer than I have, right? So a hybrid will be more you than me. And he thought about it, and I mean, he's probably telling the truth. And why should I believe you? Then he says, Audi Mark says, I've worn Gemma for 2 years. Lost my job because I began to show up drunk. I hid all of her stuff and tried to pretend like she never existed to try to get past it. So all those conversations were really, really, really good. Then we got to a point where he said, I think it's the next slide I have. You hearing him talking about, well, I don't know how reintegration is going to work to 20 times more. Then he's talking to him, and this is where everything changes. And what he said specifically was, Miss Cobell told me that you like someone down there, Helena Egan, and you call her Helene. I think you call her Helene. Yeah. And this is the point where it all went to shit, right? Isn't that kind of what happens, though?
Pretty much.
I knew that conversation was going to go bad. I just knew it. You could feel it because
you could feel it going south.
When you think about it, yeah, for them to do whatever they have to do, the Indies do have to die, and it's like, I don't know if they're going to like that, So, and then there's a part where he says, "Oh, I don't believe you. You could be lying," and then Devin says, "Well, yeah, kind of like, So I think like there was never anything to finish that. Like they never had any plan to finish the reintegration.
The progressive elevation of their dialogue was, it really, like I've said in the past, this show's really good with tension and build up, and to do it that much in such a short period of time and make it effective, moments like that really, really make this show for me.
Real quick, if you're leaving, hey, have a great night. Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate you being here and your conversations with us, talking about all this separate stuff. So, the conversation would have been a lot lacking without you. So I appreciate you even coming in. So if you have a good night, bro.
Thanks, Juice. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this show, how they handle tension and build up, especially from scene to scene like this. It's easily one of my favorite parts of this episode in particular, not just that probably the season as a whole, especially upon rewatch of it.
Agreed. Yes, Nikisha, I love the callback using the wrong name and for their partner and that's a turning point. Yes, exactly. Nope, confused me. I watched a couple of breakdown videos and no one touched on the Prego Kier, which I think that has something to do with his belief that he is birthing something in the world, to the world. Like you might be, birthing this child, but I'm birthing this idea, these concepts to the world. The world is my child. So yes, Dr. Deb, so good. The writing is impeccable. So Impeccable is the word for it, Nikisha. 100%. I agree. Nikisha, he was thick. So outing mark being blue and on the outside, and any mark being inside warm red was too good. Red versus blue, exactly. And you can see it. And how it's reversed. He said thick. The thick guys give the best hugs. Hey, I gave really good hugs too. So, so good night, Deuce. Hope you have a good night. And now, Deuce, have a great night. I swear I didn't see your message to Deuce before I sent mine. I get it though. I can see a different version of myself having beef with me. Exactly. Depending on what's most important to you, I think you can see it. So I'm sure I'd be surprised if we didn't say the same thing. Rogue Nation says, do you think Devin and Cobell will get Gemma from the outside Lumen, and Gemma will go with them because she trusts them? Or maybe Cobell finds a way to get away with Gemma and use her as leverage against Lumen. Gemma gets out. I think 100%. That, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys think, but I think Gemma, once you see Mark run away, that she runs out, and I think there was a version of the script that they talked about that actually had them outside waiting on them. Both Cobell and Devin. And Devin's going to be the one who's going to be able to run and grab her. She'll trust Devin.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that they will be out there to do it. And I also think that even though, like we talked about, Mark possibly being Cobell's son, I still think Cobell is out for her own interest still as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's still playing them a certain way. And that's the only way I could really see them dragging it out to 4 seasons, because with everything that was explained and given up in this, you could actually end it in the next season, right?
That's what I was going to say.
You easily could. And Apple does 3 seasons a lot. They just do 3 seasons and done.
A third season might be enough. Cap it off there.
But if you're able to, put the element where maybe Cabal is like, her own interests and drag it out a little bit, but you also want to be careful too, because you don't want it to get stale. So
you never want to overstay your welcome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I hope Devin is waiting for Gemma. She wants to go home, but she doesn't know where Mark lives now. How cold that home is. Remember when they lived together, it was in the countryside, and it had beautiful life things that she brought to the house. It was different. Yeah, me too, Dr. Deb. Yeah.
So another thing, right? And this is going to be interesting. Remember when the doctor told Gemma that Mark had another life, woman, right?
Yes. Wow, that's good.
Gemma ran out, or when Gemma got out, but Gemma doesn't know that Mark is severed. Gemma doesn't know that Mark is severed.
She doesn't understand severed yet.
So she just
sees him run away
with another woman.
That's good. I didn't think about that. She could be thinking that the doctor told her the truth, and then that's the other woman the doctor talked about. He has a whole nother family on the outside.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks. Tank will be back in a second. He says, as a hit show, you never want to jump the shark. 100%. You never want to be that person. That'd be that one who stays on too long. You don't want to end up being, even I think Game of Thrones, going too long when you really didn't have to.
Yeah.
So that was a great point. But I said this conversation is where the conversation stops, turns. He realizes, like, dude, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to give my wife. He said he was trying to compare the fact that Helly, or him and Helly or Helene, you understand how love really is, except it's like 20 times more. Saying that just makes me, it's like you're belittling my love, right? Like he literally says, it's just I just want my wife. So in other words, you could say you're willing to say whatever you need to say in order to just get what you want. So that's why I read into it. You know, because what you got with Helen is what I have, except multiply it, you know, by 100 times. And then that's when he starts saying that, no, the person I'm in love with is out down there too. Right. So what you ask me is not just to lose me, it's to lose myself, lose the person I'm in love with, and every other any who's there. Once again.
He pretty much downplayed what Mark and Heliar had, right? By saying, "Oh, you know, imagine what you have, but mine's like 100 times." You know what I mean? So you downplaying what they have going on down there. He's not gonna like that. No one's gonna like that.
Exactly. Who would like that? And you belittling and make them seem like they don't matter. You know, and then you want to make sure everyone else disappears. I thought that was just key. You know, and then at that point, there's total distrust, and he's like, why should I even believe that anything you tell me is true? You're gonna get your wife and you're gonna forget I ever existed, and I'm never going to be out again. So that's all huge things. I think that's exactly what they're trying to get to. And then so Ali Mark calls back, he says, Devin and Miss Cabell, tell him to come out here. I can't talk to him. He's like, he doesn't even believe I'm telling the truth. And then that's when, as Anzo said, hey, he should be right? Because if you get what you want, you might not want to come back, right? So exactly how Anzo said that. And then Miss Cabell tells Devin, I want to talk to him alone. And she walks away. And then Ali Mark walks in, and Miss Cabell tells him the truth, saying, the numbers are your wife. They're a doorway into her mind. Of your Audi's wife. He said, how do you pick the numbers? And he tells her, we feel things. And she says, all the clusters that you're feeling, that they're touching, are the tempers, or 4 tempers. Think about them. You know? And she goes through, and he's back in there, back in the office, thinking about what he chooses. And you have woe, frolic. What's I'm losing what all the four tempers. That's dread, because he's dreading because dread, and then the other one's malice. I missed malice, I guess. Oh, that's malice and that's in dread. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's woe, frolic, dread, and malice. Okay. So he goes through it and he realizes, yeah, so I'm actually creating this place. And she tells him every file that you've completed is a new consciousness for Gemma. He said, a new any. So you created in this one person 25 new innies. You know, and he said, no matter what you do, you're going to finish Cold Harbor, and tomorrow's your last day at Lumen, no matter what you do.
So what if some of those innies that they created have something to do with the people they're trying to bring back?
What'd you say again?
What if some of those innies that they created in Gemma, the 25, what if 8 of them have something to do with the people that they're trying to bring back, like the family members?
It could be.
Right? Because
it really could.
You created 24. The 5th one was like a blank slate. So 24 different innies in her, right? What do they all represent?
It could be, you know, all the different family members that you need to bring back to prove that one person, one Jane Egan can handle all the family members that he's trying to bring back.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Along with himself. Or Kelly. As a person who can then have all those personalities within her.
Exactly.
Got Blue in it. She doesn't understand Sever because every time she left the room, they asked, what do you remember? Never knew what was going on. He says, well, I'm hearing. No, he's saying that's what Blue's saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she don't understand Severed. I'm just saying she doesn't know Mark is Severed. Now, obviously, don't tell her, but is she going to believe anything Cabell says, right? So.
What I'm hearing is y'all don't think that my theory is right. Mark is just imagining he's running away with Ellie.
I'm not sure about that.
I
think
it
he
could
really
be
did.
It can definitely be that way, but wouldn't that be very much like giving you those great shows where all this stuff happened and changed the whole show and the way that the show was going, and then you find out it was a dream sequence, and don't people hate those things?
Yeah, it's so tacky unless it's done right. So I'm not sure. I think it was him imagining anything. I think that really happened. I
think I agree with you.
I don't think this is Total Recall.
Tank says Game of Thrones should have went longer though. Cutting it short, it was rushed storylines. I think I agree with that too. A good point, Blue. Rogue says, I don't see Gemma being able to blow a whistle on everything. There's probably going to be an angle that keeps Gemma from talking, or you find out that they didn't kidnap her. That she agreed to do this because if you agree to do it, we're going to be able to get you this baby. We'll put all of our money behind to get you this baby, and she was doing whatever she could to get a baby.
That's possible too. That they had their all their I's dotted, their T's crossed, so they made sure that if anything happens, that everything is legal. So, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
And that's what big companies do, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what big companies do. They don't allow that to get in their way. So Adi Mark has learned nothing, still completely without insight. Thinking about or empathy. I think Ali Mark has no empathy. He only sees his point of view and not thinking about anyone else's, and that's his overall downfall.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I agree with Blue. Gemma might know more about Severance than anyone else. I think Kramer mostly ruined the running out of a book content. Here we are years later, still no Winds of Winter, and you're never gonna get it. We're never gonna get it. Just know that, guys. I think Gemma consented to some of this, not knowing what she was getting into. People never read the terms and conditions. She thought she just wanted to get her pain to end. So I completely understand the perspective, Nikisha. I go back and forth, but I'm leaning towards kidnapped ATM at the moment. Yeah. So honestly, me too, Dr. Deb. I who knows what is actually going on, but it's fun to guess. I still think that she signed off on something because companies make you do that. And remember, so Lumen was there with the blood drive. Lumen was there when she went to for her pregnancy problems. When she went to intravenously, when she went to what's the IV? What's it called when you have to get a child? You want to help with getting a child? IV. Yeah, artificial insemination, but it's called these 3 letters. I can't think what it's called right now. But I think that they were always the IVF. Yes, that's it. Exactly. IVF. So because of that, I think they knew what they were doing and they were setting her up, and she was the perfect target.
Yeah, I agree. She would have to sign all kinds of papers for her to be able to get in that position anyways, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree. She probably signed some papers and they had pretty much legal rights to do what they did.
Exactly. And that's what we're gonna find out.
Now the main issue may be faking her death. That may be where they can get them, right? Because if you just took her and she signed the papers, took her, fine, that's fine, right? But they faked her death. That might be where they could get him.
Unless she signed something for that too. No one reads the terms and conditions. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but faking your death is illegal anywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. They have money. They could probably do certain things like that. But I think if anything, it's that they would get them on.
So it is, Nikisha. I just had a hard time believing Gemma would do that to Mark, especially how she left that night. I don't think she thought she was leaving like that. She couldn't get out. I have a good theory about 24 innings. too much to type here. I'm not going to go keep plugging my video with my daughter, but we talk it out there. I love that. I have not checked that one out, but I will check your videos very soon. Please ignore Wayward. Pretty sure the last time he came up in the elevator, it did make that ding noise. I don't think I even realized that. That's why I think that she didn't know that she was really what she was really signed up for. Exactly. I agree. You know what's sadder? We won't remember my theory next year when we watch and discuss the next season together. If you're right, that's going to be nuts. Oh my goodness.
You could just let us know. Come in and brag about it. Hey guys, remember when I said this? I told you. It's cool.
Yeah, I will remember because I'll be still looking at all the videos, and we will have video proof. I go back and look at these videos all the time. I said, geez, maybe we need to schedule wellness sessions to check in with each other throughout the next time. I think we can get ready for Severance. If we hear anything about, first of all, I believe in the next week we're going to hear that season 3 has been greenlit. I'm also expecting to hear that they're going to start filming this summer. I'm expecting this show to come out. I'm giving it 18 months. Because that's what it would have been without the writer's strike and the actor strike. So of course, Dr. Deb had to answer. Exactly. The IVF. I needed it. I definitely see the perspective as well that Lumen could find a way to cover themselves always. Yeah. All right. So he's talking to Miss Cabell. Miss Cabell basically tells him no matter what, this is your last time going into Lumen. You are either, do what we say or you're going to die. And then Mark calls Devin and says, hey, do you love your brother? She's like, yeah. So we'll tell him if I come back in here, if next time I come up, I'm not going to Lumen, then you can kiss your wife goodbye because I'll never help her. And then the next scene you see, I'm coming out of the elevator because Nero took him very seriously. And he's coming out of the elevator. Oh, they were screaming at him. I'm sorry. So we were screaming about this, and he comes out of the elevator, and then we get this. We get this whole thing. Once again, we see all the Egans up here. You see the world's highest waterfall in the world, ever. You see him as like praising Kier, or as almost like a John the Baptist type of figure. I remember the John the Baptist type thing. We see all the witnesses. As we said, Helly R is going to be a bear witness. We see Irving. We see Miss Cabell. You see everyone that's been in his life. You see Gemma. You see, so Milchek. You see the Goat Lady. You see everyone who's been in the show to this point. And one thing they don't talk about once again is his mother. So this is why I think Miss Cabell could be his mother. And again, I think it's another reason.
I never gave that too much thought.
What about this? Is it interesting that Elena's on the top of the waterfall and Helly's down here? It's two different people. Do you think that's interesting? I mean, I was wondering why that would happen. They're not two different people, right? So what is that saying? I think possibly that they're going to separate them. I think that would be a very interesting thing that if they did separate and gave them both opportunities to be people. Because in this painting, once again, we've seen paintings before, right? They're like telling you what's happening. I was like prophesizing. It's a prophecy. What if the prophecy is that both Helly and Helena will be two different people?
But didn't the beginning of the show kind of already explore that an Innie and Outie are two different people? They just share a vessel.
But there's two different vessels in this painting. See Helena at the top of the waterfall, the world's tallest waterfall. You see Heliar on the side. Maybe they split them up. Just saying. I mean, but you see, I mean, they're this is all these things. Everyone else, other people are severed, but you don't see both in their innie and outie. We already know that about Irving. We know about Bert. We know they have two different ones, right? But they're the only one who's severed that have two different bodies.
Yeah.
But that's the only innie and outie that's ever came in contact with Mark. You know, because none of the other outies ever talked to Mark, but the only other outie that ever really did anything was Helena. You know, so. Yeah, but he was integrated at that, or he was starting to get integrated at that time.
He knew him for a year inside. He was his best friend inside Lumen, and then he integrated outside, so he knew his outside self too.
Well, because that was because Petey was integrated though, right? So like his outie was starting to become
he was starting.
The whole integration needs to get They need to actually say what integration is, you know, like because I think there's like talk about it, but there's not concrete of what it actually is. But I don't know. Also, my main thing when I first saw this is that the board? The board is up there with the 9 members.
Yeah, those are the board members, and then Helena right there. The reason why I said that's because what I have written down is you remember I talked about at the beginning the Twilight Zone episode, right? And it's those mannequins that come to life, giving life to those mannequins. So could you take a personality and give life to that mannequin? You know, and is that possible instead of trying to reintegrate? What they end up doing is giving life to something else. So now there's 2 of them and they're able to both live out their lives. And that's a better answer than reintegration.
Interesting.
So they still do the clone, but the clone is just an empty vessel. And you find a way to split.
Exactly. Split the personality and let them both live their lives. Instead of living half a life, even if you had it in and out, that's what's going where we're going towards. Yeah, so no. But Mark comes through. He's real confused about the pain because like everyone else. But you see Helly, you hear her coming in, and then she gives him a hug. They lock fingers and they start looking at the painting and like, what the hell is going on? They're fearful. They're walking down, and all the lights are following them as they go along. And you see this mannequin Kier sitting there.
See, it did. Okay, so it's facing forward. It did initially change where it was looking.
It does, and it's funny because you see Helly like, motherfucker looking at me. I definitely see that perspective as well. Yeah, Lumen to finally cover themselves. Yes, exactly. Chief says, "You're fired," and he said, "Wouldn't be the first time." I do wish this that they seen them to tell Ali Markey what any Markey said. I'm sure they did. We could have saw, but I think they were just trying not to drag it on too long.
Yeah.
Dr. Dev says the painting really reinforces that Lumen is watching everything and has embedded snitches. And the fact that because a lot of these things happen with them not supposed to be looking. Some of the stuff happened, with the Audi being at the party. How do they know everything that's going on unless they have cameras and they're able to check in on all their people?
But don't they own the town?
Yes.
So, I mean,
the town was named Kier.
Yeah.
It's embedded.
But I was gonna say reference to another show, with the camera in the light pole.
And light pole, yeah. Are they always watching? Silo. Yes, interesting that Helena is at the center as well, because She is the center. She's supposed to be the one that takes over. The painting could probably have its own breakdown video. I think so. When you really want to go through it, you could have an entire breakdown just on that painting. That painting was amazing.
Yeah.
So thanks to Callus, I think the show will end like the Twilight Zone. The innies and outies will share bodies as a compromise, like a body timeshare. I think that they're going to create bodies, and they're going to be able to put the consciousness in it.
It'll be like substance.
Exactly. Very much like the substance. Exactly.
The balance. What is it?
Respect the balance.
If y'all ever watch the Twilight Zone, the After Hours, I think I told you about how the show will end the episode in that episode. Again, I only think it's because Callus told us about the Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good call, Nikisha. The Screen Crush video breakdown, I watched that the same thing. Yep. Thanks. I haven't watched the Screen Crush, but I'm hoping my daughter and I will be the only ones who said that. No, it usually goes fast. Everyone has good ideas, and we all end up sharing it. They probably have 6 people watching the show, so for you and your daughter you're doing good. They probably do have people looking at it. Say my ego appreciates that very much. We're questioning, but if they anticipated the file being completed yesterday, why wasn't Kier figure in the room yesterday?
Good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Also,
but maybe they found out how much he knew. They found out how much Mark actually knew because they checked in, and then that's when they did the painting and all the other crap.
We don't know how long from the cabin when he's like, the next time I'm here, I better be in the elevator. We don't know how long that was.
But Ali Mark promised Milchek that he'll be there tomorrow.
The next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They probably have 6 guys rewatching the show, so you and your daughter are doing very good. Yeah, exactly. We understand
at least 6 people.
They have a whole department.
I mean, all those big YouTube channels do that. New rock stars, all of them.
Write down all the things you see.
Yeah. If you think the host knows all these random facts, you're like, no. like there's some super nerds in the background that are putting it all together.
They're not like me writing notes on the back of envelopes as I'm watching it. Everything I say, I have written down already. So you see the envelope says Mark. He is very much weirded out, and Helly's looking at the envelope. And why is he just staring into his soul? I don't know. Oh man. They start reading. You see the waffle app. He says, "Hey, Mark, you finish it up. We're so proud of you, basically, and we're gonna celebrate you." And you had the waffle party thing. Said the founder wishes to witness the historic completion of your 25th file. Helly R shall also bear witness from her chair. Goodly splendors await you upon your victory. Love, Mr. Milchek. Goodly, I love it.
You didn't even need to say that was Mr. Milchek after goodly splendors await upon your victory. That's awesome.
All right, so now we get Milchek who's walking down the hallway, and we see Devin come back, and he's like, "What? They didn't. My Audi didn't accept my resignation." And he takes him to a room. Says he wrote a letter back to you, so you need to read. And then we pass this one. The name of the painting is the Exalted Victory of Cold Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name. Next time you come back and we're talking about Severance, I'll have it right here. The Exalted Victory of Cold Harbor. We get to Gemma and we see that they're having her put on the same outfit she had when she left out that first time. When she came in, when she had that accident. But she seemed to remember that, and she was shocked. Now we got Mark realizing he's going to do it. He's going through the whole thing, and they shared what they know about each one. Mark talked about everything that Miss Cobell told him. Helly told him about everything that James told her. They're putting it all together, realizing that you're not going to. We're probably not going to make it past this.
Mm-hmm.
And Helly basically is telling Mark, go find her and go live your life with her. Like, it felt like that's real love, because she was saying sacrifice. She's not worried about me no matter what. And what did she say specifically? So I want you. Let's add the words. So Mark tells her, like, he's like, I want you. She says, I want you to go live your life. You know, you can reintegrate. You can live your life. And then Mark tells Helly, but I want to live my life with you.
Yeah.
And then Helly says, but I'm her, Mark. I am her. And the second time we watch it, and made me realize what she was saying. She's saying that Helly is Helena. So no matter what, I am her. So there's no way for us to have a honeymoon type of, life together.
Mm-hmm. Kind of the standout line of the episode, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That whole conversation just kind of really summed up. If I had to sum up this season in a nutshell, it's that line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you fall in love with me, all this stuff, but I'm her.
Yeah.
Hey, it shouldn't bother you not, Mark, because you had sex with both of them.
But also it calls back to her calling out Melchek when he's like, oh, I am your boss and blah blah blah, and she goes, are you though? That whole scene, because she knows she knows, like, she knows who she is, and she knows no matter what, physically she's safe.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing they could do. So,
but also that she's at Helena's whim. That anything that she decides, she has no control over it. They created her. They created this whole block and everything. She could be going tomorrow, and there's nothing to you can do. And I gotta give it up to the actress right here, because she is you see the pain in her eyes. And
yeah,
I just man, this show's so good.
She kills it between, like, being in love, I think, and also being afraid and being, like, just sad and happy at the same time is a hard thing to do, and I think she pulls it off. She did a good job.
I think she did. That's a wonderful job.
And
there's no better acting job than when we're going back from India to Ali Mark. There's no better acting job I've seen.
Yeah.
The way they shot it, the way their faces, the shape of their faces look different. They look like different people, even though they're the same person in the same second with the same clothes. So it's such a beautiful conversation. The first Nikisha got played me. She said, "I need to get you guys some notebooks." You're 100% right. I do need some notebooks. But then
the curve, I have like 3.
I have notebooks, but I like writing on paper like this,
like envelopes and stuff.
Because I like saving stuff. So I have a desk full of like scrap paper. So whenever I always write on the scrap paper, because I just don't want to like have all the notebooks and all full of stuff. I want to have I want to feel like I'm doing something positive. Like I'm using the paper twice.
I have like 3
paper. Exactly.
I have like 3 different notebooks that are always on my table back there. Like one designated for work, one designated for this, and then one designated for like drawing and stuff. So,
can you imagine if I had a notebook? You know how much stuff the notebook would last me like 3 days.
I like that.
I write so much stuff. That was such a beautiful conversation. I agree. It was almost heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah,
I gotta say the truth. So this scene was so sad. The tears in Mark's eyes, heartbreaking. Or smoke them. That's on.
Yeah, right.
You're damn right.
Exactly. So Helly should get an Emmy nod for sure. I think a lot of them do. I mean, She pulls it off because Helena is so in love with Mark. Both of them are in love with Mark.
Any Mark, though. That's
So no such things. Very good point, Jeeves. Yeah. Stone paper notebooks are awesome. I reuse plastic bags like that. I have a cabinet full of plastic bags that reuse trash bags. Talking about that's in the Black People Handbook, man.
Yep. I have a bucket of them under my sink.
Yeah.
I have bags of bags.
Yep.
Yeah. I have one giant bag, like the big Kohl's kind of bag with the smaller bags in it. And I got like 4 of those in the basement. And just
I always have them under the sink because you always need to have it real quick under the sink.
We don't have plastic bags over here anymore.
Too good for us. Whatever.
Yeah, we don't have plastic bags. You got to bring your own bag now. Hey.
Hell, Canada. So we see them looking at Gemma. And then I want to get to this real quick because Milchek comes to talks to Dylan. It's like, hey, you're out. He wrote you a letter. I have a lot. I'm swamped. I don't have time to sit here and read it with you. I don't know how your emotional stuff's going to be. I'm swamped right now, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave it with you. You can read it all you want. I'm out. And you see him just run out, just full sprint out.
That's funny.
Yeah, he friggin' Naruto ran out of there. That scene lives rent free in my head ever since I first saw it. I've just been randomly finding myself thinking about that scene. That scene lives rent free in my mind.
But so many people are like, "Oh, why is he afraid of Dylan?" I was like, "What?
Oh, he has stuff to do."
He says like, "Hey, I'm swamped. I'm busy," And later on, you find out what. But right now, it's just funny, But I'm like, he's not afraid of Dylan. I mean, Dylan's popped him in the face a couple times by this point, but I wouldn't say he's afraid of Dylan.
He'd be all right.
He ran like an incel. It was hilarious.
So we start seeing Dylan's letter to himself. So this is response, organize my response into 3 points. So I read your request and point 1. Fuck you.
So good.
Gretchen is my beloved, and your actions are horrible. But I get it. She's perfect, dude. I love the way he handled it so well because I wouldn't handle it that well. I'll be thrilled. Hey, let's leave at the equator. Let's meet the equator. We want to have a fight. Whoever wins gets the girl. That's what we're gonna do. But I love that first point, but he understood. He started to understand what's going on. And to say the woman that you're in love with, he was angry with her, right? He forgave her in that second and realized how wonderful she was and that, that he really hopes that he could be worthy of her love again. Because he knows all the stuff that he's lost. And I thought that was interesting. So he goes through it, tells him basically you get to choose. She's still supporting him, So he said at the end of the day, I'm here. I hope you can make the decision. I'm, if you want to be done, we'll be done. I'm here to let you know that you don't have to be done. I'm here for you. He says, all about Gretchen, he says, I hope one day she sees in me what she sees in you. And then he said, it makes me feel good knowing that you're there.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting and a wonderful response to all the stuff that happened. And it takes a big man to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's like, Dylan's always been like the MVP, for just having his shit together. And then to find out like as much stuff that's going on in the Audi Dylan's life, he still has enough sense to like, there's initial reactions with what him and his wife had. That's an initial raw reaction. Then you sit and you think about it as an adult, and you're like, what's the proper way to do it? And yeah,
and realizes she's still in love with me. And because and you in love her because obviously we're physiologically we're the same. So of course we look at her, she's perfect. She's perfect for us. So I have no problem with you loving her too.
Yeah, it's just man. Dylan is the best.
Yeah.
Dylan is the best.
You would not be saying that about me.
Because it took such a complicated idea, and we were talking about, is it cheating? Is it this? Is it that? And he just brings it out. He goes, "We are the same," and she sees us. She sees us. She sees Dylan. You know what I mean? It's just you act different than I do, but it reminds her of me. So it's like, so isn't that the same almost? So it's still complicated, but he just breaks it down so well. Well in this. So yeah.
I agree. Agreed. So that was hilarious. Yeah, it was.
It was awesome.
He had to get changed into his band attire. Band, one sound. So Dr. Dev, my pops folded them all. I can't do it all. Fold them all. I can't do that.
I don't fold them.
Yeah. Nikisha said, I gained so much respect for Ali Dillon after his letter. That's facts. Dr. Deb said, I love this Dylan scene. His Audi is the only Audi respecting his innie. Yes. Realizing that they are both people. And that he said, I was a little jealous because he said you were such a badass that was so good at his job and so confident about himself. And I just wanted to get back to being that. And to be honest, be able to be honest with yourself is probably the hardest thing to do. Not just, be honest, but I actually look yourself in the eye and tell you the truth. That's some real ish right there, guys. That's some real hard stuff to talk about, man. Said Ali Dillon was using smart sounding words to impress himself. It was kind of sweet.
That's funny.
He still wrote like chicken scratch. Exactly, same, Nikisha. Yeah, understandable. The great lines think alike. So you gonna throw hands with yourself at the equator, Brian? Exactly. I'm gonna get to that. I'll step left foot on one side, the right foot on the other. Let's go. Whoever wins, whoever knocks the other person out, wins. So any Dylan got a boost of confidence from that letter. It was very sweet. Absolutely, Chiefs. I agree. It was awesome. Any Dylan is the Dylan she married without going through all the bullshit that life Audi Dylan had to go through. It's the trauma. Life puts so much trauma in you, and you have that confidence at the beginning, but you don't have it at the end because of all the stuff you've been through. So that's why all innies are very similar to the Audis without the trauma. So I'm really glad that actor playing Dylan got to do something like this. He's normally just the comic relief in roles that I've seen. Yeah. I love the fact that he was able to take off his glasses. Because they're just hanging there all the time. Him able to take off his glasses, you saw him as a person, the person behind, the actor behind the person. That was cool. So Drew, so true. Great catch, Nikisha. Yes, exactly. Very great one. All right. So as Milchick's running around, got his lumen pin on, but he's taking off stuff, getting ready for his band attire. They get 99% complete. You're almost done. You see the lights still low. They're still staring at each other because they're realizing this could be the end of them as they know it. He's feeling it. And I don't know. I saw this one thing, but I enjoy it. So hit B is to choose the cluster, whatever. G for Gemma. H for Helly. Yeah. This is where he's hitting, and this is where you choose. This is your choices. I thought that was pretty interesting. The doctor's downstairs waiting on seeing what's going on. He hits it 100%. They're like, what the hell's going on happening? The spotlight came out. You hear down, 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 down. That's the Bulls theme. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Even had the lasers in the background. I mean, they're green, not red, but this had lasers.
Here, this is the funniest part to me. He says, "Your manager, floor manager, Milchek," and he comes in and he's missing it, and then he comes in and just runs in like he's a little bit late, little mistiming. Yeah, right here, Brucey's time to shine.
It was just because it was just an empty door for like just a few seconds.
Yep,
and he just jumps in with that little.
That was and they're looking like, what the hell's wrong with him? Now, this interaction was really, really interesting. It was scripted, right? It was supposed to be scripted. Yet this mannequin kind of went off script and then started to, kind of get on Milchek. Talking about all the words that he was using. What he said, good thing you didn't write the first appendix because it will burst because you're full of words.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him talking about it. And he's like, well, Milchek was tired of hearing all the jabs that kept him going after him. And he said, I would say that, I look good. He said, I would say the same thing about you looking good, except I can't talk about it because of one of my 9 principles. Vision. I could see you don't look good. So I thought that he just was done with it. And then Milchek comes back and tells him like, hey, it's nice to see how you decided to put your mannequin, this thing 5 inches taller than you actually were in real life. Because he was done. He was tired of taking this bull crap from them, and he wasn't going to take it anymore. And then what Kier says, I appreciate what you said, your comments. And they moved on. And that's what the band came out. But you can see Kier looked like he was pissed off. And it looks like a real, really was pissed off. The mannequin looks like he's pissed off.
Did the face change?
No, it didn't. So I went back and forth looking at it, but it looks exactly the same. But it looked like it did. He's looking at it. It was so weird.
There is the scene where he says that it's shaking though. Right?
Yes.
It's not. It doesn't change, but it's shaking like it's upset. So yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah. But the relief that Milchek had on his face when he was able to let this go made me happy. For all the people that had to deal with bull crap from bosses that are or bigots or racist or any of that stuff, it just made you feel good.
This is the second time he did it this season.
Mm-hmm. And this is when he kind of talks back to him, says, "Hey, what's going on?" Lets him know. And then you hear the band, and as he drags him away, coming down the hall with their 3D printed instruments. While that's happening, you see Jimmy being led to Cold Harbor, and Milchek getting it. I mean, just literally getting it. And then they come up and do this. Who the hell is this for? Who the hell saw this?
Right?
Because think about it, it's above the head, right?
Uh-huh.
No one sees this.
That is funny. I didn't even think about that.
They did it above their head. Everyone has 100%, but just what? So I thought that was hilarious. What are you guys saying? So it was hard taking notes on this episode because the scenes keep cutting away so fast, so much back and forth. I'm sure it's intentionally chaotic. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of give you the feeling that they're running towards the end, almost like running downhill. Like it'll slow, and as it gets further down, it starts really speeding up, and that kind of gave you that feeling. So I was wondering why B wasn't into the bottom. Why YB was entering, at the bottom. But I just thought this was right by those two letters, Gemma and Helena. Do y'all think Drummond was voicing the Kier figure? No. So you saw the Kier guy, right? I saw an interview with him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting.
He voiced Kier before. Yeah, I think was it this season or last season when they did some another voice for Kier?
I think it was this season that he did it.
Yeah.
So he came back and did it again.
Yeah, which is just wild. It's like, man, because I mean, we didn't even get into like, was it somebody talking like like through a mic, kind of Disneyland style, where somebody off to the side is controlling the mannequin, or is there a conscious in there?
It's exactly what it seems like. I think the board is like a memory, like an actual memory board. Like it's really a motherboard. Yeah. They're all put on a motherboard, and all their consciousness is actually there. Because you could do that because they're literally saying, "What it?" Miss Corbell says, "The numbers are your wife. There's a doorway into the mind of your wife through these numbers." Mm-hmm. So if they could do that with numbers, they could do it with ones and zeros, right? So you can put someone's personality on an actual motherboard together. That's all the numbers will represent, and it's just into a file, and then you can have the consciousness on there. Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Is that like Winter Soldier? They put the old Nazi doctor, in the computer.
Yeah, Dr. Zola.
Zola.
Dr. Zola. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He says, at first I thought the robot was operating by Drummond because of how rude he was to Milchick. No, I think it's just their family. I think the family doesn't like black people.
I mean, yeah.
The man can dig it off script. Is that Twilight Zone episode, but people can hear them talk. It's the mannequins, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up with Kier, bro? He was trying to embarrass him in a personal way. And Milchick wasn't about that life. It was not about that life. I think their consciousness are on those mannequins. I think it's on a board, and that board is actually like a motherboard. Computers is talking through those things, and they can control things through it.
I mean, also, like, I haven't seen that Twilight Zone. Like, I know what you guys are talking about, but the mannequins come to life kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't this be a direct reference to it then?
Exactly.
Exactly. They're not even trying to hide it at this point. And so it's kind of like if you know what they're talking about.
The replacements, at the beginning of the season, when they were coming from the other office, they said, "Oh, our Kier was animatronic. Mm-hmm. They moved on their own."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they talked about this. So I think that's the exact one. So there's one for them. They brought that in. Mm-hmm. Yep. Gotta be G's. The Milchick got him back with that height comment though. Yeah. Pretending to be 5 inches taller than you really were. Yeah. So y'all might be right there. Yeah, I think so. He clapped back for sure. Yeah. I had subtitles on, so I knew marching band was coming, but still caught me off guard. Yeah, who is it for? I still don't understand what this is for. Like, who's looking at this? Is there a screen? Is there a camera up there?
That's like such a great, because I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, he wouldn't have seen it.
Are those 3 envelopes next to the 100%? We got more notepads. Yes, I got more notepads. If I had to be severed, I'd rather be in the band instead of cleaning up goat poop. Yeah. I wonder how they decide who works where. Probably what the Audi does. If you're musically inclined, you probably will go working there. I mean, the story, Mark Geller was the actual voice. Yeah. That's a good question, though. Motherboard is so layered. Exactly. Exactly. motherboard, the board over everything, but it being a computer program is actually what's controlling it. But not even a program, but it's actually their personalities on there because they obviously can number those personalities and they can put the consciousness into something. So if they could put it into a Severance, they could put it into a computer program. It's too soon for Kanye West, George Bush jokes, huh?
It's never too soon for one of those.
Huh? George Bush don't care about black people. Unless it's Michelle Obama. I really thought that it was going to be the final straw for Milchek. Yeah. So sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, exactly.
I did see somebody go like, "Oh, Lumen has more DEI than Target." Like, it's like they got a whole like HBU like marching band kind of thing.
That's so bad.
that was fun. I saw that like on Twitter.
Y'all remember when I'm telling you when Bush looked at Michelle, he was like, he's about to ready to risk it all. He was like, man, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll be your president. So now we get the elevator, and the elevator opens up, and we find out that James has his own office with only a picture of Kier in it and a computer screen. So he comes up. We know it's James. This has been his office. It's probably where he's been watching all the stuff that's been happening in this one office. He just has that one little picture. It says the program's about to start. Then we see Milchek going back, getting his moves on, dancing. You can feel it. You guys feeling the dancing? I'm loving it. And Mark's like, I gotta get out of here. Elena's like, just wait for me. He's like, what the hell she gonna do? He goes up and she snatches. I had the side, I had to get rid of it. There was too much movement. She snatched his radio and she ran out the room. While that was happening, Mark just bounced. Elena snuck around, went under the stall, locked Milchek in there, and then now you see the hero, Dylan, coming through. While that's happening, you see Drummond come up the stairs because everything's been 100%, so he's going to get the goat ready. As I said, they're just running back and forth. While that's happening, you see Gemma going through to her room. While that's happening, you see Dylan getting the vending machine, which he loves, and blocking the doorway. They see Gemma walk into Cold Harbor. And all you see is this crib and a piece. And look how happy and content he is. Wonder if you guys think about this. I just want to know what you guys think. So what they're going to do is they're going to sacrifice a goat, right? A goat is named what? What's the name for a goat? A kid. A baby goat. A baby goat's a kid. So they're going to sacrifice a baby goat as Gemma takes apart the crib that her baby passed away before she was able to use. That's just too much. It's too much for me. And I was like, that's very heavy-handed. And I think that was a lot. But sacrificing a kid because of the death of a kid.
Bam.
Yeah. And then even the way they're dressed, very demonic.
Yeah.
Very feeling. I mean, you see goat head, right? A goat head, does that. And a lot of devil worship type stuff, satanic. You see the goat head being used. See Drummond being ready, coming in. Once again, all her wares, everything she's wearing is crazy. See him going to get the gun. What I was looking at this. It's like an altar.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because of what we see. With Gemma, you got the marching band here, sacrificing the goat to him. Of course, she doesn't look like that. She was very happy. No, there's another one where it talks about the goat, and you see the goat, and it's like sunshine around it, and it's very, very much like the Christ, the idea of sacrificing a lamb of God, and being like a sacrifice for the Christ, and that's what the Christ was, a sacrificial lamb for the people. So I thought that the biblical undertones in that idea was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, because it makes sense though, because this whole lumen is borderline religion, borderline cult. Like you don't know what it fully is. You think of like Scientology comes to mind. But then you get stuff like this, which is very satanic.
Satanic,
so
it's cultish, but
it's
just biblical. It's weird.
It's just taking everything from everything. Like literally, it's taking so much from everything and like smushing it together, and just like it's almost like if you pray to every god, I'm gonna be saved. Like that kind of thing. That's what I feel like they're kind of
reminds me of that scene in The Mummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably have to get to the right one.
Yeah, but the whole thing, like with the head just sticking out, is like, like you said with the goat head, so the head, like, is it gonna be severed somehow? Like, yeah, the whole death table that he's on, the altar, is very very unique.
And then what's the goat head? And a lot of cults and occultic people. I can't remember what his name is, but it's always thought about even when you talk about Satan, you see him like with the head of a goat. Even in the what's that show? Evil. The main guy had the head of a goat, the body of a head of a goat, the body of a goat. So that's a very big thing. That's and it's like an evil thought process. Is
it fuck?
I can't remember what his name is.
Behemoth.
Yeah.
Behemoth.
Yep. Behemoth. That's it. That's it. So the head of a goat, the pendulum is always there, but he's like literally a symbolic of Satan. So
isn't one of the tempers a head of a goat?
Well, good question. I don't know.
In the painting.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the painting real quick.
I had 3 of them, so yeah.
There is. One of them's a goat head.
And which ones that represent?
I don't remember. I think it was Malice. I'm not sure.
Here, Taming the 4 Tempers. One is, it's like a ram head, but you could say it's a goat head. It doesn't say which one it is, though. Yeah, because there's like the little gesture, there's the woman, then there's the goat, and then I can't tell what the other one is, like an old lady?
Something like that.
Kind of looks like Miss Cobell with the long gray hair, honestly.
Because the old lady, that's I had all of them written down. Each one of them, see, this is why you need to have a notebook right there, because I can't find where I wanted to find them. But
yeah, but I mean, is one of them is like this goat with the horns.
Yeah.
It could be Malice. Yeah,
I think it was Malice. I'm not sure.
I think Malice could be the one.
But I think it was
because the crying woman is woe. Frolic is the jester. I remember that. Dread is fear and anxiety, and then Malice would be the goat.
Yeah.
So that's it. We could talk it out. We figured it out. Like you said, Milchek can move. He was so deep in that pocket. Started clapping for whatever, dude. He was getting it though. I am surprised how good he's getting it. So I kicked one of the popular people in the group because Twitter, because he was disrespectful of me over a joke. Gotcha. Honestly, Ty, We'll talk about that because I actually was reading some of the stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of peeking in and see what was going on.
Nikisha says Dylan saving the day yet again. Yeah. Ace says, "What's up, Ace?" The symbolism was interesting in that scene. It was very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like I was holding my breath for most of this episode. So intense. Yeah, exactly. Notice the tile in the room. It's easy to clean blood from those walls and floors. Gross. Exactly.
Also, we just got a whole new thing that we didn't even know. Like, there's a bunch of secret rooms.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
you just can push through and be there, and no problem.
You know what else is going on. So, like, season 3 is like this whole floor is even more, like a maze than we even thought, because now it's got like shortcuts and like secret dungeons and kill rooms and shit. So, yeah,
it's a labyrinth.
Yeah.
I wonder how many goats she had to murder. It's so evil. I'm a vegetarian pacifist. This is scary to watch.
Yeah.
Now, I enjoy a good steak. So
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a vegetarian, but I still kind of had to look away.
I don't think. Yeah, the idea of harming something just to sacrifice. No, if you're going to kill something, you need to eat it.
Until you go to fire. If you haven't had it, curry
I've had curry goat. Oh man, it is really good.
Talking about the taste of Chicago, man. That's all we, boy. You don't understand. So I wonder how many goats you do it. So I probably would guess this is the 25th goat.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look at the pic on the screen with Rain the Tarth. Give me some armor and a sword and Chi-Chi Lubin. Satan is always depicted with the goat's head, but the Bible doesn't say anything like that. He isn't read with a long tail either. 100%. I mean, we can even talk about the garden. We can get into that, but yeah, we can talk about the garden. We can talk about the snake. You can talk about a lot of different things and the idea of what he really is. I mean, he's a fallen angel. Well, there's a whole area that we haven't seen yet. So there's not just secret rooms, but this a lot more stuff. So maybe Mark and Helly can actually run
and hide.
Yeah, hide. And maybe some of the other floors would kind of hide them. Dr. Deb says, do you think that that's the sacrifice is the sole purpose of the goats? Because they had to exhibit all 11 principles.
Yeah. I don't know if the sole purpose or just one of the purpose. I don't know.
So I had curry go a couple days ago. Actually, it was the day of the episode.
Yeah, no, I seen food when she put them. I was like, oh, there we go. Yeah.
So I agree. It's also wonder about the other floors. Exactly.
But if they leave the severed floor, aren't they gonna turn back? They can't come off the severed floor.
That's true.
Who can't?
Because if Mark and Helly leave the severed floor, they no longer will be Mark and Helly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be the outers.
Yeah.
So, she was pissed off. Drummond's tells her, you have to sacrifice your goat. She's holding it up there, thinking about what she's gonna do. And you hear something outside, what the hell is that? He says, hold on, let me go check. Goes outside, you see Mark just trying to open the door without using the key, just hanging up there. I don't know. And Frog got pissed. Mr. Drummond's like, what the hell? And he starts beating the crap out of him. And Mark gets some good hits in, man. I gotta give him some props. He's getting dragged around into walls and stuff, getting knocked out. And then Mr. Drummond gets on top of him and starts choking him out. And you see him get purple, more and more red. It starts to get blue and then purple. And you can see him kind of about to, pass out, or he's gonna break his neck until the goat lady comes in with a gun. She says, stop. And look at him. He's still ready to go. He hits the hell out of her. That was one of the biggest punches I've ever seen. A big man like that to do that, and all that did was piss her off.
Yeah, just
she goes about it, and then she beats the crap out of him, hits him in his nuts like 15 different times. Knee, and then she starts elbowing him in the face. I was like, man, let's go. I was getting ready for wrestling right then.
So I had to look it up real quick. So the dude that plays Drummond, he's 6'2". At least IMDb, he's 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
And then Gwyneth Christie, which is the goat chick, she's 6'3".
Yeah, she looked bigger than him, right?
Yeah, no, she's super tall, man. She's super tall. Also, she plays
6'3's not that tall.
A devil. I mean, for a woman, especially. But she plays the devil in Sandman. I forgot too. So another.
She does. I forgot.
She sure does.
Yeah.
Oh, good job, man.
About
That's
that
awesome. So she's about to. I think she's about to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I
thought
mean,
she was gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah, I really thought that was about to happen. Yeah, but she doesn't, and Mark says, "Whoa! I need him. Yeah. So easy enough to force Innies off the 7th floor. Just failed to deliver food to them. But they got the vending machines, and they got whatever they feed the goats.
Ooh, I mean, I guess. I mean, you got the goats. I'm just saying.
Goat stew. We good to go. Oh man, that was so funny when Mark said the wrong door. He's sitting there like this, like pushing up. Like, what is he doing? I didn't order it after the episode. Oh. I suppose that helped. I'm not sure I completely understand why Drummond immediately resorted to violence with Mark.
Because Mark shouldn't have been there.
Is it?
You know what I mean?
But did it have anything to do with his frolic? Like,
I mean, that's who he is, right? He's just a violent dude. Yeah.
Said she held her own. She definitely did. But I mean, he was getting knee in the nuts left and right. Mark was kicking him in the nuts twice, and then she did it like 4 times. And then when she had with those elbows, man, those elbows were vicious.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the Stormtroop chick in the sequels.
Yep. Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma.
Yeah. It did seem to escalate so quickly, but I think Drummond just didn't value Mark's life because the fight was already done. He had to kill him anyway, right? He was going to die regardless. So I killed him with my bare hands. They said, "Veal, anyone? Veal?"
No.
Not a veal guy.
Me either.
Haven't seen Ghost of Satan since Black Phillip from The Witch. Oh yeah. So yeah, I forgot about Black Phillip. Yeah. All that was good, but any Mark holding him hostage all the way down wasn't believable. Yeah, like he just turned it like this. Get away from him. It wasn't like it was a projectile. It was a piston. So if you got 6 inches away, you're gonna live. So that makes sense, Nikisha and guys. It just seems like he could have dragged him somewhere. Yeah, good point, Blue. Agree. Ty says they gave Michael Jordan a cameo. And now the starting lineups from your Chicago Bulls.
And the GOAT.
The GOAT.
And the GOAT.
So, James is getting pissed off. He's actually watching her taking them apart. The fact that she's not even thinking about it, she's literally, there's no seepage through for any of it. She's able to take it apart, no problem. And she's going to town on this thing. I'm like, dude, I have a crib out in my garage that I can't go to town like this. And she was handling it.
Yeah. Also, it's just so like interesting. Like as a viewer, you're sad and you're upset and you're disturbed by watching it, but like her doing it, like she's not feeling. So it's like you're feeling it for her almost. Like I think that's why like it's so well done when like the whole thing is like, oh, they're gonna block the pain, but then you feel the pain, so it's like
from the outside,
and then the disconnection of her not feeling it and you as the viewer feeling it is just like really, oh man, it adds another layer of like disturbance to watching it,
100% agree.
Yeah.
Well, we already know that Jane likes to watch.
That's funny.
And be engaged in it.
Yeah.
And then so now she's leaving. She says, Emil thanks you. He's like, Mark's like, who the fuck's Emil? The GOAT.
That's for sure gonna be a clip. I'm just saying, like of her saying, and Emil thanks you. Like 100% that's gonna be a clip. So
that's a picture right there. I almost put that on the
t-shirt.
I almost put that on the thumbnail.
It's just she's all bloody with a smile holding the goat. It's just like if you show this to a person that has no idea what Severance is about, you're like, here's this picture. Tell me what you think the show's about. Like, what?
Said Mark should have let her build the crib. The fact that he was breaking the crib apart was just probably the most heartbreaking thing. I just couldn't imagine doing that, knowing how it's going to affect my wife. If I really loved it, you can't do that. If you're upset, you go out somewhere else and deal with it. You're not going to put that on her. I think that's part of Mark that's a problem.
Yeah.
But once again, the Eni is Mark without all the trauma. Trauma makes you who you are. It's part of it. He said they say LeBron James is the GOAT now. Nah. He's not even top. He's top 3. No, geez, it's always Jordan. Exactly. I was watching Mark's face, surprised he didn't have a moment of recognition of the crib, but was just like hyper focused on Gemma. The fact that he got to see her was huge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going down, and he's saying, "Hey, look, let you know, I'm about to change to my Audi. When my Audi gets down there, you need to take him right to Gemma and get us right into the room." And too late, he starts flipping through. You see him changing, and shoots a hole in him by accident. And he starts bleeding all over the place and all over Mark, and he falls out. That was nasty.
That was so epic because they do the zoom in thingy as you hear it like pop, so it's like the ding poop, and it's like
so now Audie's like, what is it? He's getting showered with blood like on his face, like, oh, what is all this going on?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so much.
Yeah.
While that's happening, Milchick is going ham. Mark is looking for the room. The band is like, what are you doing with my instruments? Mark couldn't get into the room, but he realized that he needed to have Drummer's blood. But where do you get Drummer's blood? All over him. So he gets a piece of his blood, gets in the room. He sees Gemma. Gemma doesn't know who the hell he is, but he's able to convince her to come with me.
So there is like, and then this is the moment I'm like,
she trusted him somehow.
But they got rid of pain. You didn't do anything about love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that love was started to seep in and cross over. That love and that trust and that affection was just like drawing her to him. So it's like, man. And then the roles reversed where Mark tearing apart the crib was kind of destroying her emotionally, but now she's destroying the crib and he's
she's destroying the crib and she's ruining herself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's what
but also Mark was doing the same thing when he was tearing apart the crib. He was drinking, doing it, ruining himself, ruining the relationship, ruining Gemma.
Yeah, but I think she would have killed herself. I think that's what would have happened. She would have been
at the end
erased. Yeah. But he was able to convince her, even when he's bloodied and a bloody mess. She still believed that something good about him, and she trusted him regardless.
Yeah.
And he was able to. She was able to trust. She knows nothing. She doesn't know. She feels like she could trust this man.
Mm-hmm.
And you see her finally becoming herself again. Seeing Mark going crazy. They kiss and hug and all stuff, and now
turns red. I didn't notice that.
Yep, because they now know what's going on. And I thought this was interesting too, because when you go back to Helly, when it starts happening, she's starting to realize that Mark has Gemma and that he's about to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And like it occurred to her right there. So.
Also, is anybody sad for Melchek in this moment? Because he's locked in the bathroom, trying to kick down that door. I mean, he's using everything to kick down that door.
Strangely enough, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Normally I do, but not this time. I was like,
neither did I.
F you a little bit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You make your own choices still.
Yeah. It was weird. Yeah. Admittedly, I kind of did. I can't, and I'm a little ashamed of myself for admitting that.
I think at first I started to feel bad, but then he just kept trying so hard, and he just kept pushing it, you know. And it just reminded me of the ice, looking at the iceberg, and work is work. It's like, at what point was he going to realize he's like, what am I doing?
There are times, I mean, because he looked in the mirror a couple of times and he thought that he might have looked at something, didn't like the way he saw looking back.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I said the same thing. Dr. Dev surprised. Mark didn't see the crib or Gemma's clothes. Did he recognize the song? He just saw his wife. I like to say stuff like that to my brothers to get them all riled up. Didn't recognize the song. Yeah, that music is interesting, but he probably didn't even hear anything. He probably just saw her and that was it.
Yeah.
So yes, the clothes too, Nikisha, but yes, I think so. Yeah. It was so kind of drumming to hold the elevator.
Yeah.
All Pulp Fiction jokes go here. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. That's one of the few times I felt bad for Ali Mark waking up. Yeah. And Delta Dan talks about that there was no there's no ding.
Was there no ding?
It might have been just so much going on that we only heard him like but and being covered with blood. Yep. Well, I didn't notice the lack of an elevator ding. Yeah.
Yeah, I go back and check that out.
But this thing, idea, what Tank said, love transcends Severance. It's huge.
Yeah.
But isn't that the same problem that they had with Miss Casey? There's something going on, Miss Casey, and they had to take her back to the Severance floor because Mark did something to her. Spending time with Mark did something to her. But they're choosing to not see it. So yes, I feel bad for Milchek. He's going to be sore tomorrow. He needs some Epsom salt. Nikisha, what is up with you with taking all the villains and loving the villains? I don't know. Even though I actually like Milchek too. I have the t-shirt on, right? Every time Milchek does something nice for the Indies, it backfires on him. I know the band must have been his idea. Well, there's a whole department, right? Could you see Cobell doing that, dancing with the band, like getting it? Like, you see her doing that? Like, I could see her doing that. Keisha on ice bag, he'll be okay. I was a bit disappointed that Milchek was disrespected yet again by Kier and still went to such a relentless against the Indies. That I agree with. I thought that was strange that he still was, so gun-ho to stop them. Because you're right, he probably was hurt, then mad. I have a bad taste in men. They always end up the bad guys. I try to see the best of them to my own dismay. Was Mark the only one who could sever her that so many times? They probably tried with others in other innings and it didn't work. So they got Mark, and he was the one who's made it look like a real job. That's a good question, because you know what? No one else will have the connection to feel the tempers.
Mm-hmm.
No one else could feel the connection. Now, so I pose you the question: what were the other ones doing? The other people on MDR, who were they separating? They don't have a connection to Gemma. So who were they separating?
Like in their
when they're doing all this stuff in their work. Mm-hmm.
So, because weren't they all working on different rooms though, right? But he was that's what I was like. Was he just working on Gemma's mind? But they were working on different rooms, because
how would they feel the connection though?
Yeah, I don't know, because there's the room where she's like writing the letters. Like, that's not from Mark and that's not from Gemma. So was that from somebody else? Like, that's what like kind of gets me. Is like, you
there
have
are levels though, right? Those just levels of
trauma.
It's trauma, yeah.
But what if it's just like their traumas or something like that? I don't know. I don't know that because they were also doing, because when it cuts to Dylan's screen in last season, I think it says the same thing. So there's all the 4 tempers. So they're doing.
He could have been doing it for someone else though. It might not be for Gemma. Yeah.
But what if they took those for somebody else and applied it to Gemma? That's what I'm kind of like thinking too. Because the airplane thing, the Christmas card thing, the dentist thing, like, what if those are like traumas that, I don't know, in their life or in their loved one's life or something like that. Because I wonder if that's what we start to see. It's like, the writing Christmas cards thing, maybe that's Irv seeing his parents.
But that's not what they said. They said that Mark, every time you finish the room, that was a different personality for Gemma. And she said every time you finished the room, it was a different personality for Gemma.
It was a different, there's like a different
but he said you. He didn't say every time MDR finished the room.
But Mark. Yeah.
He said every
Mark
time
did
you
26 rooms or whatever it was.
You did 24 rooms, and that was going to be the 25th room. So for me, Gemma was only Mark.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And then the rest of them were working on, could have been maybe the lady who wanted to sever the baby, to have the baby. Maybe that was one thing. Or working on severing something else. Everything they did, the mysterious work, was to sever somebody, but not necessarily Gemma. Gemma was only for Mark to do. So, I don't know if that's right or not, but that's why I thought about it.
Yeah, it makes more sense that there was more than one person there. That they're doing it for more than one person.
Yeah, they're doing it for whoever comes up that wants to be severed. They're severing that person. They could have been doing that for the people, even for Mark. They could have did it for Irv when he was doing it. They could have been doing it for any of them. That's what their job is, to sever. They're actually putting the severed part of them into the files.
Oh, I see what Nikisha's saying with the Allentown thing. So even that was the Allentown was the Christmas card thing, and that was
So otherwise, we're faking it. It looked like it could be we're all working on the same. He got there. Yeah, exactly. I've been wondering this since we sat the 4 people in the server rooms, who was Dylan refining, who was Irving refining, who was Helly. I think they tried to use other indies to sever, but they didn't. It didn't work. I wondered that 2Gs, still unclear if other MDR folks were finding people down on the testing floor. I don't know if they're doing that, but I think they're refining other people. Because every time you do a severance, you need to have someone refine it to complete that part of them, right? Yeah, Chris Carr room was Allentown. I think that was Mark's first room. Allentown's Luke. Yeah. Look how fast he severed her into 24 pieces.
Yeah, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There are 4 rooms down there.
Was there?
That we see. There's more than ones that we see. There's a list of them. My theory sucks tonight. I think I need to bring my Annie back into the chat. No, I think your ideas, I agree, are terrific. Don't be silly, G's. You're awesome. You're beyond awesome. Well, welcome back, Delta Dan. So help me, Obi-Wan Jeeves. You're my only hope. Oh, and the hologram. That's heavy-handed. Oh, that's true. So 4 apartments like Gemma's. I know I saw one that was looking exactly like her apartment, but I didn't know there was 4. There could have been 4. I didn't pay attention. But I think the other ones were working on someone else being severed, like,
Yeah.
Or possibly because their connection was so strong, Mark could sever Gemma quicker. Everyone else was working on stuff, and it took a lot longer for them to really sever the entire person. But since he had a great connection with her, he was able to sever her quickly.
Yeah, I just hope we get more like answers like that. Just the little details of stuff like that.
I agree. So going red, you see Milkshake looks at himself in the mirror. This is where I thought he was going to change right here. Like, do I like the person looking back at me? But instead, he seemed like he was afraid that everything went to ish, on his watch.
Yeah, like he knows he's like, I'm screwed.
You see, they get in the elevator, they're kissing, they get upstairs, and they turn back into their innies. So Miss Casey, it's like, so what's going on? What are we doing, Marcus? And Mark realizes what's going on. He tries to pull her out, says we gotta run. You see the red here? I feel like that showed that Milchek was getting angry.
Oh, the rage buildup, yeah.
All the rage, and he was like, all the rage from both Kier, from them disrespecting him, because remember, they also disrespected him a lot. He was done.
Also, I loved how the whole scene was done where of him keep kicking it and stuff like that, and it kept cutting, and it felt very like fast paced and like aggressive, so it was just like the rage was building, and then the whole red thing, yeah. The camera too, the way the camera shot a lot of it was like really interesting.
Cinematic the way they do it. There was one circular shot that showed that there are two other two opposite, and then we see the other two the first time, a few times. I saw the other two, but I didn't see the other ones across the room, so I understand what you're saying, though. So Milchek was saying, grow. He says, Miss Casey didn't know what she was kissing Mark S, but it didn't seem like she minded it. Yeah. That was her first kiss ever. I guess that would be her first kiss ever. Yeah, for her. She didn't realize why she was doing it, but she didn't pull back and slap him or anything like that. She just kind of said, what's going on? So maybe you're right, Tank. Love does transcend the severance. She feels the love still.
Yeah. Well, it would make sense too if like a shitty company like Lumen is like, oh, we want to fix pain. We need to sever pain. We, that they don't even consider love as like something to think about,
Being the opposite.
Yeah.
All right, so they get out, they're running, and you see Milchek. And I feel like this was a good mirroring that they're trying to get to their point. He knocks down over the vending machine. He hops up, and everyone's waiting for him.
That's the way he hops up.
And Dylan's like, let's go.
Again, so
bring it.
He said it was F.U. Mr. Milchek or F.U. Milchek or whatever.
But the same exact way that you did for season 1, right?
Season 1 finale.
When he's holding up, says, fuck you, Mr. Milchek. Yeah, same exact way.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's red, does it look like this is leading to the MDR revolution? That looks like a revolution to me.
I think that's the next logical step, especially for season 3.
And maybe that's how Mark and Helly keep stay away for so long, because they're leading a revolution, and they have enough people to fight for them. Between the band and the GOAT people, maybe they all band together and they're ready to revolt against these people.
Imagine that for season 3. Imagine like a unionized Innies plot line in season 3.
He said, "Yep, the painting was a prophecy."
Yeah.
Yeah. Still think he looked like Pedro Pascal in that painting.
Everyone was like Pedro Pascal. True, Nikisha, though their interaction didn't seem to reflect to me that they had an empathetic conversation previously. But it would have been for Miss Casey, but not necessarily for Marquez. I love the way to sever pain, the thinking things. Love is the way to sever pain. Love is the opposite, dude. So Mark created a legend of Gemma's brain map where she split off into 25 consciousness. Lumen can use this to erase any trauma via severance. But what happens to those trapped consciousnesses? Exactly. And it's like trapping a person we saw that in the room when Gemma was going through the room, and you saw the one who was only going to the dentist's office, they're always being tortured. And if they're a complete person, they're always going through that every single time. That's horrible. And that's their existence. And that's why a lot of people compare this to slavery. You're not seeing these innies as fully human. That's what Devin was saying at the beginning. Oh, well, I expect you just to go ahead and sacrifice yourself. Well, to kill myself for someone that you guys miss, but I don't even know. To sacrifice myself for every other person, every other innie, for one person that you love. That's kind of messed up. I said, yeah, finally caught to the live. Yeah, welcome. Thank you, made it. Thank you for coming. Milchek went full beast mode. Marshawn Lynch will be proud. Oakland represent. Let's go. Skittles. They should threw all Skittles out as he knocked over the machine. That was Mark's point too. Exactly. No, and I think he had a really good point. That you want me to sacrifice everything because you love one person, and I want to sacrifice every innie here because of that. It's not fair to ask. I tend to object comparing anything to slavery, but this isn't slavery. But I get the concept. Well, you're trapped in a jail, a place where you can't leave, right? It's not. It is slavery. It's not chattel slavery. Chattel slavery is totally different than slavery at itself. Slavery in itself is still holding someone, forcing them to work on something, not letting them go. That's a different type of. But chattel slavery is totally different. I always try to keep that separate. Yeah, chattel slavery is terrible. They could have referenced Petey and Miss Casey in trying to convince any Mark in the cabin. but he doesn't care about Miss Casey, and I think that was the whole point. When he looked at her, when he got to the end, he looked at the door, and he realized this is a person I'm about to kill everybody else. I'm about to leave the person I love for someone I have no feelings for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's also like the opposite, because the Audi Mark said, "I got you. Like, don't worry, man. Like, I'm gonna make sure we're good. You know, whether that be a lie or not, I don't know. But any Mark was like, nah."
He said, "I don't trust you."
I say, yeah, I don't trust you. I did what I did. I saved your wife. But then, yeah.
I mean, he did everything he said he was going to do. He never said that I was going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
He pushed Gemma through. She remembers who she is. She sees him. She says, "Mark, come on. What are you doing? Mark, come on. Let's go. Let's go home together." And he's looking like, I don't even know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Ellie in the back, looking like the other Mark from before.
Mm-hmm.
The one that peeked through.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at her. She sees him, and now she sees her. And now, what Anzo said makes a lot more sense. She's thinking that's the woman that the doctor told me about.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he started a new life with. He might not even know that he's severed. She only thinks this is the woman that he started a whole new life with, and he's going to choose her. He's choosing her over me.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I was offline, but I was listening. Bro, that like blew my mind, because I was like, I didn't even think about it. That's a great way to connect everything, you know, and to mess with her head, because now, you know, is she going to need to be convinced? You know, like,
what
is she going to trust Cobell?
Yeah,
she'll trust Devin though.
Yeah,
she will trust Devin because they have a strong relationship.
Yeah,
and then him looking back at her. Oh man, this is so bad.
Yeah,
I was even watching it like right before the show. I was watching it. It was like breaking my heart looking back and then seeing her screaming.
Yeah,
screaming for him to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, what if Gemma knows who that is? Because she is a famous person. You know, she is an Egan. You know, so do they go down that road to like, oh, I know who that is? You know, that's, you know, the daughter of the person that is why I'm stuck here. You know, or something like that.
What if she's the one
they could have met when they signed up, when they got Gemma, right?
She's the one who did, who had her sign all the stuff over. Yeah. She was there at her intake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Ooh, that would suck if she was there.
I mean, you can go some different routes with it though. I do like her thinking that's the other woman though. I like that a lot.
She seems surprised, but the look she gives her.
The look she gives the Gemma.
Yeah.
Like, gotcha, bitch.
Exactly.
So the look she gives her is
that was very smug.
Like, yeah, he chose me. I'm out. 2 fingers. I'm out.
Yeah.
Have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little in my feelings about that. I was a little salty.
Dude, she left her just sitting there screaming at the door. Whew. And you see them running off. And you saw the freeze frame, but I couldn't get the freeze frame because it looked bad every single time I did it. So, but they ran off together to enjoy their last 5 minutes, I guess, because Luma's going to come and send their security, unless the revolution changes everything.
That could be like, what if, you know, what they would say, the inmates run the jail kind of thing. What if all the severed people, you know, start to like take over, and they're like, hey, you know, because what are you gonna do? You know, you're gonna turn them all off, you know, which is gonna cause a bunch more issues. You know, so yeah.
That's a good question. I got Dan says, what does the band do with the rest of the time they've been in the Indies the whole time? They're practicing. They're probably coming in. They're learning how to play these instruments 8 hours a day and learning all the dance moves all the time.
But that's your life. That's your life.
their
It's
life.
just like all you do is play whatever music, a whole like dress in. Man, I can't imagine that life. Like, but that's like
Some
kind of
people
the
love it,
issue
though.
of what the Severance floor is, though. But that's all it is. It's like you don't know anything else besides being in that uniform, holding that instrument, and reading whatever music you're supposed to be playing. Like that is your life. Like legit. That's a lot.
It is, but I think we got something from Any Mark that said, you know, it's our life, it's what we have. So even though it may seem like it's messed up for
We
us,
find
they
a way to
might love
become
it.
whole.
Try
Yeah,
to make it work. Yeah,
that's what he said. We find a way to become whole.
yeah. Like look at all the Go people, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the dream sequence begins. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. I like it, Jeeves. I like your theory. Then judging by how smooth the band was, I say they're constantly practicing, rehearsing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, if you're right, I will definitely remember. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Deb says, yeah, Devin will explain, but that moment would have been torturous. Can you imagine that you've been waiting all this time? She's the only one that remembers the 2 years.
Yeah.
Of being stuck down there in that jail for 2 years. And she finally says, probably the only thing that kept her going was Mark. And then for Mark to turn around and choose this other woman that he ran off with.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, but that's just gonna piss off, Audi Mark. If they ever talk again or whatever, like that's it. Audi Mark is like, nah, you messed up, man.
That's why I think that they're going to use the override thing. So they're never going to, we're not going to see him for probably like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. But because of this, I don't think, because I know some of you guys early in chat were like, oh, they're gonna learn how to live together. I don't think that's the thing anymore. I think that
this
that
is
went
it.
out the window.
I'm
Like
telling
one
you,
of them is gonna survive.
I'm telling you that it's the mannequins. They're going to have bodies. They're going to give them bodies for some type of way that they can live their lives fully. They cannot share anymore.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that, which is going to be a freaking trip if that happens.
But that will be exactly like the Twilight Zone one with the mannequins coming to life. So y'all got me so distracted. I put some eggplant parmesan in the oven and then turned the stove on.
At least you did turn it on and not to forget to turn it off. So
Dan says, send me some of that, Akeisha.
Seriously.
Oh man, I've done that so many times. I think Gemma will know Helena. Yeah. Audi Mark recognized her at the restaurant too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm telling you, she might be famous.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm making coffee and put way too much sugar in it. So Delta Dan is still frozen. Yeah, he said next time then. Because Delta Dan, he has 2 hours on us. It's probably 10:30 for him. So geez, be careful. Don't want you to be up all night unless you want to be up all night, of course. Yeah, talking about Severance.
Yeah.
I keep counting on Milchick to turn, but maybe he will at the start of season 3. I think we all just want him to because we like him as an actor so much. We want him to change. But he was raised for 32 years to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
So why would he change?
Yeah. I don't think he'd just turn over a new leaf on the fly.
Yeah, something would need to happen.
Something drastic would need to happen.
Yeah, because you look at Cobell, same thing. Like she was ready to okay, put me back in charge, and they're like, no. Like she had a fear for her life to be like, okay, like you guys are shitty people. You stole my idea and you want to kill me. I mean, that for sure turned somebody. But
what you got, Anzo?
No, I agree. I definitely think that there's. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. What was the question
again? No, I heard you about to say something about all this thing, the way this was going. But Milchek, do you think Milchek changes? Does he ever join the fight?
Okay, no, I don't think so. He's a company man. You know what I mean? He's proved that he's a company man. He don't like to take the crap that they're giving him, but he definitely is all about the company, right? He's going to do what it takes to protect the company. So I don't think he's going to change.
I think that he would change. He would join the fight, but then they're probably going to have to give him a raise or give him a promotion, because everyone else is going that was ahead of him is going to be gone, and we're going to come back, and Milchek is now going to be the new like head of all seven. Yeah, he'll be drumming. Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen. So they need to
I agree with that too. But I think he's gonna they're gonna put a lot of the blame on him. He's gonna have to fix a lot of these things. You know what I mean?
But they're gonna put it on him and give him. Well, you're now in charge of the entire department because there's no one else left.
Yeah, I know. But he's gonna have to fix the problem.
And he's gonna watch out for Goat Lady because she might put those hands on you. You might be going too. It's been a long time since I had eggplant parmesan. You all make me hungry.
I know, I'm starving now.
I wonder if Lumen's birthing cabin is another form of The Handmaid's Tale, along with small town factory with child labor, etc. They talked about a lot of the child labor before, right? And then I don't know if A Handmaid's Tale, but that's interesting. What if?
I mean, in a sense, it is kind of like Handmaid's Tale. That's more like literal, like that's all the women do. Here, it's more like this is what that part of you, that separate part of you, only does. You know, so it's not too far off, but still different.
I don't want to be up all night, but now I have the sugar. Coffee ratio right. Maybe any Mark will try to reintegrate Audi Mark. But the problem with any Mark reintegrating, it's the same thing we said. It's like you've had 20 times as much time to build your personality than I've had. So at any point when we start to reintegrate, I will, always be the lesser one. So it'll always be more you than it is me. So that band has been practicing every day until Mark's graduation. So that's epic wild. Is he the first graduate? Probably.
Yeah.
So maybe that blackface Kier might have got it started. That blackface Kier is crazy.
I mean, he did have a very, it wasn't like crazy reaction, but he had a reaction, and he knew he couldn't show it, obviously, but yeah.
Where is Natalie? What would you be surprised that Devin brings back Gemma, takes her home, she gets back home, because remember she's nursing and someone's in her bed. Keeping an eye on him.
Interesting.
That's a way to keep control.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it also be just straight up revenge. Like, you effed up my grand plan, so I'm gonna F up your family. Starting with your husband, because that's the easiest one.
But I mean, that had to be a plan already, right? They wouldn't be able to put that in the motion now.
Yeah, but be the plan. If they already knew Devin was doing shit with Audi Mark, it could be, hey, get this book thing going. So it could have led to nowhere, or it could, be the start of like a revenge plan kind of thing. Is how much this like Lumen knows everything. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like 10 steps ahead kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be. I look at them and I'm thinking like Rick and is such a simple man, and Natalie's so fine that he'll just fall for it and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." A good point, y'all. That still can't trust Cobell. Tell you when you find out he's Cobell's Mark's mom, we'll see. Belichick is going for Drummond's job now. He's a company man. He might be all in on the Colt though. Yeah, I agree, Dr. Dan. They've been disrespectful to Milchick for so much. I think that Bert sent Irving away because he was scared of the same thing happening to them that happened to Mark and Gemma / Shelley. Y'all, I already said that. I'm back. I was tempered reaction, pun intended. It was a tempered reaction. Devin should be sore and full of milk. Exactly. If she's still nursing, oh my God. They're not showing us her pumping? There's no way. So I hope they're not pimping out Natalie. They're already doing that.
Yeah.
They're already with her blackness and all the stuff on the board. I could definitely see them doing that. Treating them a certain way. You're only good for this.
Yeah. Here, I had a question for you guys. Is Irv done? Do we see Irv next season?
100%.
I'd say yeah. At the very least, in some capacity, we'd absolutely have to.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's completely out.
Yeah, I hope not.
I don't think we're gonna go an episode without seeing John Turturro.
No.
I mean, but would you be satisfied if that's how just his story ended?
There's no way they get to their revolution without him. They need a military person that's going to be able to do it.
Ooh, and a person on the outside.
And that's why they brought him back up during this episode.
When did they bring him up?
When he says Irving's drawings, and he told Miss Cabell. And she was like, "Oh, his drawings." That's why they brought his name back up, because he's going to be there soon.
And there's still stuff to his story that we haven't gotten yet, right? We don't know what he's actually doing.
Exactly.
So they can't just end him like that. No, he's coming back.
Yeah, I want him
no.
back.
Yeah.
But the military, I like that. Yeah, like a doctor, I like the military take. You want somebody who knows how to fight, who knows how to do like all this stuff, and he's on the outside, and he knows how the inside works.
And he's gonna go get Mark.
Yeah,
you either give it, we're gonna go get him.
I mean, if Cobell winds up being on Mark's side now, you have Cobell and you have Irv and you have Gemma.
I'm not even sure it's Mark's side as much as it's just
Mark.
He loves Mark. He loves Mark. That's her son.
If that's winds up being a theory, man, you need to
I am
1 year ago. He called it. Yeah.
Dr. Dev said Irv is done, too many loose ends. So, yeah, I hope not. He's such a great actor.
Yeah,
he's probably the best actor we have in the entire series. So almost well known.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we see more Irving and Bert too. You better hurry up and start filming. If Gemma can't remember what her 25 consciousnesses did, then what would stop Lumen from just doing whatever they want with everyone, including especially their own people?
Nothing. That's what it's about. Control, right?
What would stop them from having the override? But using that to get them to get her to come back.
Yeah, we know that they can do that. They did it with at the whole end of season 1.
That's the only reason why I think that they weren't going to just be able to just walk out and do whatever. They weren't going to be in control. This revolution is going to take some problems for them. They're not going to be in control, be able to get to that office.
Yeah, man, that is a good question though, Ethan. Because what if they do that and now Devin's got to lock up Gemma,
who's just got to be locked up again.
Got to be locked up again, because you don't know what 25 personalities is she going to be at any moment, Yeah. Oh, that would be so sad. That'd be fucked up.
So I like the military take.
I do too. Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to hear your thoughts. If I was right to kick him out of the group chat.
I don't know what really went down, so I gotta read the group chat.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so
yeah, because that happened like while we were live.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it and see what's going on, and then I'll tell you. We'll talk about it. I might even message you.
Yeah, well, I know the group is talking about it like crazy.
I hope we get Ragabi back soon. Too. Do we still think Irving was calling Ragabi? Which is interesting because you know what? Ragabi was the only person who wasn't in the painting.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh, she wasn't in the painting, and then but I thought that this means that they don't know.
They don't know about
that
it.
she was part of this. She's the only one that they don't know.
Yeah, because she always hiding, always being quiet, always staying away. I think Ragabi might be like a wild card, the next season.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what she's gonna do, because obviously she don't trust Cobell, but she's never really told a lie to Mark, so
she was pretty honest all the time.
Yeah.
So do we see Ragabi? I don't see her anywhere. Those are the 4 fake thems.
Oh yeah.
There's the goat guy. There's the 4 tempers. Go check. Natalie. I don't see Ragabi, right? Because they don't know that she exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would make sense, like you said, like if they don't know what she's doing, or I think they know what she's doing, right? But they don't know that she did it with Mark.
They don't know who she is. Like she's part of this.
Yeah.
They know someone is, but I don't think they know who is doing it. So I definitely it's definitely going to happen in because Lakeisha, because A, Christopher Walken, and B, he's definitely known more than he's owned to in season 2. And they might call him to help figure out this whole rebellion.
Ooh, and then you
call Bert.
Irv versus Bert.
Mm-hmm.
Like you like take that love story they had in season 1, the love story they had in like season 2,
put it on his
and then
head.
now you put it against each other. Again, how does love transcend things?
Severance.
Yeah,
that's a good storyline.
Can love transcend war, basically, a fight? So yeah, I can see that.
I was going to throw money at Severance's way. They have a lot of great shows and a ton of money, but the only ones charting is Severance and Ted Lasso. Dark Matter is fire though.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
Brian, I don't know the numbers.
Conclusion, yeah.
I don't know the numbers, but I know a shit ton of people canceled their Apple Plus subscription.
I mean, who would? Yeah.
Like after Severance was done, like Friday, like boom. I think Saturdays when they got they said like they got a lot of cancellations, a lot. So, but which is crazy because like I am kind of excited about the studio, which starts next weekend. But again, they don't promote it, so no one fucking knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I've actually seen a couple ads for it on TV.
That's good. Yeah.
Cobell mentioned Ragabi to Granger in the first season. She knew that she was helping Petey. She knew, but did the rest of Lumen? Because I don't know if Cobell's actually sharing her information.
That makes sense.
But here's another thing. So if Devin knows Cobell is Mark's biological mother, he would naturally trust her more than Ragabi, right? So we have to ask, like, why do you trust her more than you trust, Ragabi's never lied to you. Why would you trust her more? Because she knows Cobell is Mark's mother, and that's why she's there.
Yeah. It would backtrack and make sense. Because I'm still mad that she called Cobell. Like, I'm still pissed.
That's the only person I know I trust. Yeah. That's why I called her. Because I knew.
Yeah. But at what point did she know? Because she didn't know that Cobell was also the fake
Says who?
the nurse, right?
Says who? Mark didn't know. She didn't want to tell Mark because she doesn't want Mark to know that he's adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she just play along with it?
I mean, it could be.
So, I enjoy Dark Matter too, Dan. Say great minds, Dr. Deb, Nikisha, and exactly on Cabell. Yeah. Hoping those cancellations will encourage them to hurry up with season 3. Hurry up. I want to watch the studio. It looks really good. I'm sure they'll have a lot of guest celebrities on the show. Yeah. We'll probably be watching it too. If Devin knows, that definitely explains the decision to call Cabell. I'm telling you, that's the only thing that makes sense. Why are you calling Cabell? Especially after you find out she lied to you, unless you already have a previous relationship with her.
Mm-hmm. There's something else that you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Mark's sister already knows that she's his mother. So I think she's his like sister, but that's like he was adopted. But she's older than him. So she remembers the day that he was brought home. So says, I want to see the footage they left on the editing room floor. Yeah, because they talked about that. Yeah, they're going to have Miss Cabell and Devin in the car waiting on her for Jim to get out. So we were talking about that. All right. So last thing. So guys, what do you think you're going to see from season 3? What do you think is the first thing we're going to see? What type of things are you going to see? What type of ideas do you think is going to happen? What are your crazy ideas?
Who wants to go first?
Unionized innies.
Unionized innies. Okay. Okay.
I think that we might see a different side of Milchick as well, because it kind of seemed like we were getting kind of hints of that throughout this season. Kind of his whole kind of facade or kind of disposition that he carries kind of start to crack here and there, or kind of come apart at the seams. I think they'll do more with that with season 3. I think that I'm really, really hoping it picks up immediately where this one left off.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to do it. I need to see what happens next immediately. I think there's going to be a little more of a balance between the main character, obviously, Mark, Helena, Gemma, Casey. I think there's going to be, I kind of feel like there's going to be separate and simultaneous narratives that we're going to explore in that regard. I feel like there's going to be, we're going to see a lot more of Gemma and Casey. I think there's going to be a lot more of that. So, obviously the show is an ensemble, but I think we're going to get more than one narrative playing out at once.
Okay. What about you, Anzo?
So I think that we're not going to see, like, the whole season is going to be Innie, Mark, and Helly down there. We're not going to see Outie Mark unless integration starts to form its head, because we already had a hint of that where he said, sometimes you see the images from the outworld and sometimes I see you, right? So I think that's going to be an issue. I also think that yeah, Gemma is definitely going to be more involved. I think they're going to be trying to get in there to save Lumen. I also don't think that it's going to be as easy as her getting out just to destroy Lumen like that. I do think that Cabal actually probably wants to take over instead of just like destroying it. I don't think she wants to destroy, because that's her life work. All that stuff is hers. So she probably doesn't want to destroy. She probably wants to take over it, right? Maybe run it in a different way or whatever. But I think that's definitely going to happen. I do think that Mark could be her child. I do believe that 100%. I do believe that Helly, whatever, is pregnant. And I believe they're going to use, it's going to be something with reincarnation where they're going to use the baby to bring, or the babies to bring back each member of the family. I think that's the whole plan, is to bring back that family.
And give that person a new body.
A new body, and then a body where you can get rid of all the feelings, pain, love. Well, they still haven't do the love, but all the tempers, you get rid of all of those, and now you have a body that just pretty much doesn't care about anything.
All right, Tank, what about you?
Okay. Oh man, I think we're gonna see a lot of Gemma. I think she might be the main focus for at least the
first 3 or 4 episodes. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But I think, like what I was saying, I think reintegration is gonna really start to affect Mark. Any Mark. Because what was the whole thing? You're supposed to follow the protocol, follow whatever you're supposed to do after Rogavi started it. So, how is that going to affect? Is he going to slowly start turning into like Petey from season 1? And Helly might have to deal with it. Like, oh shit, you need to leave, bro. Like if you want to live, you need to leave. So I don't know. They can go that route. I see possibly the pregnancy being a thing, that we've been talking about all season. I can see them flicking the different switches off and on for Gemma, like just hey, no one's gonna take you seriously if they think you're crazy, and you have 25 personalities that you can turn off and on. Yeah, I think season 3 is gonna be a lot of confusion the first half, and I think I don't know where it's gonna really go. I really don't, because at least at the end of season 1, I knew, okay, we're going to get Gemma. We're gonna save Gemma. That's gonna be the end goal of season 2. Season 3 is like, obviously you're gonna save Mark, but Mark already started so many issues with himself with the reintegration. There's Helly stuff. So like, I don't know where it's going to end. I know that we need to save Mark. We need to get Mark out. There's just a lot of issues with dealing with that. Like any Mark doesn't want to leave. Like that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, and if you think about it, anytime any Mark gets out, he never has to go back, right? So you have to keep him in there for the season. You have to keep him in there.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling they're going to have to keep him in there for the whole season. And then the only way, of course, Gemma and them are going to try and get him out, but I think the integration stuff is really going to kick in, and that's going to cause an issue.
Yeah. Because then we're going to start to see Helly, because I'm kind of curious to see if we get because we keep talking about Melchek getting flipped, and becoming, a good guy against the company. But what if Helly gets flipped? You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Like he already said, like, hey, I see Kier in you. You're this. You're the daughter I always wanted. So it's like, what if something happens and and the integration starts messing with Mark, and she starts to like change, become her true self, kind of stuff, So, yeah. There's a lot of different paths that this show can go, and I think I'll be satisfied because so far they have been crushing it. They've been doing such a good job. So, yeah. What about you, Brian?
So mine is multiple tiers of it. I think that I told you about my whole idea with Mark. I think Mark won't know about it because he won't be the Audi mark for a long time. I'll always be surprised if he's any mark for at least 5 episodes, and that Loom is actually using him to keep Helly in line, but they're going to James is going to use Helly as his replacement, as his succession. Like she will succeed him, and you're going to use Mark to keep her in line to do that. I think they're going to be smart about that. I think a lot of Lumen will keep on running because they're going to they'll be searching for people. I wonder if Dylan's wife, how does that work with their family? If they, start getting paid, how does that work? Well, what would Dylan do? I think Milchek will get put higher and keep on going, but try to weed out a lot of the racism from inside Lumen, because there's going to be less people in front of him, ahead of him. I think they're going to split. I still think they're going to split bodies. I think they're going to realize that reintegration doesn't work, because it'll always be like you waking up from a dream, or a dream that you remember, and that's how it's always going to be. And one of them has to be alive to live. So I think they're going to realize that they can split up the consciousness and then find a new body for them to use. So I think it's going to be like the Twilight Zone thing, with the mannequins.
I gotta go watch that episode now.
See what you guys said. I still think Helly's pregnant.
Yep. Me too.
Man, you guys went.
I saw the chat. It was going.
Hear everyone typing. Says, I think we can expect another episode like season 2, episode 7, but from Gemma's perspective, like you're saying from Nikisha, yeah, that makes sense. I think the idea someone said of them being a lot from Miss Casey's point of view sounds right. Kind of thinking Milchek might rebel. His face after the blackface cure, plus other chops from the where is the thing? Oh, I think whoever's theory about Gemma was right. Lots of her. I think it's gonna be a lot. Milchek is going to turn the blackface, and catching strays from the mannequin wouldn't sit well for me. Dev says, I hope Cabell wasn't trying to get Gemma out alive so she could extract her chip.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
And see what happens. And that doesn't stop her from saying like she's Mark's mom, because she's just another person to her.
But her work,
a lot of stuff to get. She went through a lot to get Petey's chip. She did go through a lot.
That's right.
Maybe Helena's baby will be Gemma's based on what the brain mapped out, and that's what Lumen's plan to announce, like another form of IVF.
Ooh.
Wow, that's wild. That's a really good one.
You can program your kid before they're born, kind of thing.
And you can take away all pain from them.
Yeah,
that's wild. The Devin made a comment in this cabin that made me wonder if they really intend to move forward with the reintegration. 100%. I don't know if they will. Yeah. Can they stabilize? Mark's the question. When Devin told them that the any Mark was right about reintegration, yeah, she did. Any Mark also might be in the birthing cabin. That's where they hold them. They'll hold him there and they make Helena go do the work, and then she comes home to any Mark being in the birthing cabin. They can't find a way to get out. Just thought of one wrinkle in Devin's knowing about Cabell being Mark's mom. Why would she have needed to introduce to Cabell as a lactation specialist? I think she knew that that's actually like the step grandmother, like she's like her, like Mark's mom would be like almost like her mother. I think that she knows that, and they just hiding it from Mark because it will cause him too much pain. I think whoever's theory about Jim was right. Lots of her. I think this milkshake is going to turn the blackface. Yeah, we said that. I think so. Keisha Mark was complaining. Any Mark said that he was full of it, and Devin said something like, "Well, he's not wrong, is he?" Yeah, he did say that. From the beginning, I thought Miss Wang was Gemma and Mark's baby. Not sure how I feel about that now, though.
Yep, I called that too, and I'm still sticking with that. I'm sticking with that. I thought that too, and I'm still sticking.
Well, Seth or Mr. Milchek said your bed is moving from your parents' place to this other, that island.
It doesn't have to be her real parents, though.
That's true. If I'm saying the same thing about Mark, why wouldn't it be the same thing true for her?
And why would they get rid of her so quick to go to that program? They brought her there to see if she would have any connection to anything and sent her on her way. I still believe that.
I'm afraid to say that Milchek will turn since he has disappointed me repeatedly, but I still think he will. Twilight Zone is free on Paramount Plus. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Yeah, check that out.
Helly's 100% prego.
Yep.
Yeah.
It bugged me too, Nikisha. Yeah.
Oh.
As we near the end of the stream, I hear Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
I'm going to tell you that there are hints to her being pregnant in this video, in this show.
Yep.
Whenever she takes off her shoes, big thing of women being pregnant is swollen feet.
Yep.
So she's
pregnant. Not wrong. You're not wrong. The egg thing, make sure it's cooked. Can't eat raw stuff. So Fernando says, I also think she's pregnant. Yeah. So I said that one accident. Does true love mean anything if we have experienced heartache, sorrow, pain, etc.? True love might be the only thing that's going to bleed over through all the tempers. So because he's dealing with all the bad stuff without the good, and the good is what's going to bleed through. Kind of how what Tank says.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Like, being in love is dealing with the traumas, and going through them together and stuff like that, through the sorrows, through the headache, through the pain, but when you first meet somebody, it's not like that. When you first meet somebody, it's just that, that butterflies rainbows in your stomach and rainbows and so.
Mark did say his mother had brown eyes and Cabell's eyes are blue. I think he had a mother. I do believe Mark had a mother. Dylan's Devin's mother. Devin is his mother. Is his
his only known mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But not her. Maybe not his biological mother is what we're saying. If he's adopted, he will still have Devin, his mother, as his mother. But Devin would know that he was adopted. So join the club, then we all do it. It's absolutely not, Jeeves. They always read my bad ones. Hey, John. What's up, John? Thanks for coming in. Always. Based on Helena's personality, she would definitely make Helly go through the birth. I think she would want to be the one going through the birth because she wants to have control of the baby. What if it's like a game of hot potato and whoever has
flick it back and forth?
Yeah, it's like,
that's what I was picturing.
Somebody's at the control board.
Yeah, I can see
her control. No, it's whoever's in control during that time is the one who gets the baby and gets to raise the baby.
I mean, but the company decides that then, right? I mean,
if you're at work, it's Ellie's. If you're not at work, it's Elena's. I like when Nikisha says, I want them to be twin, one baby for Helly and one baby for Elena. That well, Ali Mark's love for Gemma didn't bleed over in the last scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is very true. It's very true. Or was that Amy Mark's realization that he has no connection to this woman? And the thing that fought Ali Mark's love was Any Mark's love.
Any Mark's love. So you have two loves kind of going at it.
For Helly, exactly.
Yeah.
So no doubt. So that would be wild, Nikisha. I wanted to throw this out there. People missed this one. Babies in the opener match files. Mark completed 24. Kier's baby at the end of the opener was 25. That represents Cold Harbor file, which Gemma was going to have tame temper like Kier. Or maybe it's related to the resurrecting Kier in some way. It's definitely related.
That is interesting.
Related to Kier being resurrected. It's definitely related to that.
Yeah. So there was 24 babies in every other episode except for this finale. There was 25. Kier baby at the end of opener was 25.
I definitely think the baby is going to be Kier's personality.
Yeah, something like that.
So then it happened on My Life to Live. Yeah. He said, I just might start watching the studio stories again. That's what we used to call the studio stories. Oh my god! Oh wow, great catch, John. Yeah, soap opera.
That was a good catch.
Let me know. I can help. So explain all the new characters. Yeah, she can't do that. That's what I call them too. Geez, stories. It says no 24 babies in Mark's bed in the opening thing. Yeah, during the opening thing. We totally got it. Yeah, we totally got what you're saying.
Oh, then you're crawling at the end of the opening.
Yeah, Kier baby crawling at the end of the opening was opening thing was 25. Yeah. Gotcha.
Like that. Like I said, man, this show with details, man. It's they don't need to go that crazy with the details, but like if you catch it, it's just like little things that are just like, bam.
Agreed. Nikisha, I work from home too, so I have one eye on the computer screen and one on the TV during General Hospital. I told you guys I played football. We used to watch Passions every day. These are the passions of life. All right, guys. So we went through all this stuff. I know we've been dreading the end of this stream because I've kind of been prolonging it a little bit longer. Because I really just wanted to talk to you guys as much as possible, but this might be the last one for Severance for a little bit. I do like the idea of doing the studio on Apple. But we'll definitely be here next Saturday. We'll discuss about what we're going to talk about, and we'll just say which show we're going to use. So if you guys don't mind, come on by, talk to us. Come, we'll see what you guys. Even if you guys have suggestions, message us. Let us know, and we'll listen to that, and we can do all these things together. But I'm not doing General Hospital. Nikisha got that.
General Hospital.
Yeah, you go subscribe to Nikisha's channel and talk. You can talk General Hospital over there.
The master plan says, "Hola, amigos." What's up? Yep, 110 for me. Gotta drop. Thanks for this.
Yeah.
No, appreciate you guys. Really, thanks. 110 for us too. Yeah. So we'll hopefully see you guys next Saturday. Oh man, 210. It is 2:10 in the morning for him. He's about to see the sun come up. So Willie from Passions is on General Hospital now, not sleeping with his kind of brother at this time, though. Oh, guys, you guys are hilarious. Days of our lives.
That's the best one.
Guys, I just want to say once again how thankful I am for you guys being here, coming week after week, and having these great conversations. Cannot wait till next Saturday to talk to you guys. Please let us know what you guys think. Put comments in this video if you want us to watch something. Put it in here. We'll look at it. We'll discuss it for next Saturday. We'll be ready. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank Anzo for staying up till the wee hours of the morning with us. Really appreciate you. And for us, me, Brandman, Tank, thank you guys. And we'll see you guys next Saturday.
Yep. See you next week.
Appreciate you.
The board has concluded the call.